Sacred Symbols, a PlayStation podcast, is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Sacred Symbols Plus, a PlayStation podcast supplement. This is the Death Stranding 2 on the beach Spoilercast and review discussion. Review discussion and Spoilercast. I really like to put it in that order instead, actually. It's good to be here with all of you. We're gathering today, a very interesting group that's been together before. Sacred plus Brad. Let's go around the board and say hello to everyone, introduce everyone, get everyone on board. Chris, good to see you today, my friend. How are you today?
I'm good. Good. It's another nice day. It's only 70 over here, 70 degrees, which is nice.
Oh, must be nice. That's
like very, very walkable. So
yeah,
it's nice.
Oh yeah. Enjoy. Well, good to see you.
I will. You too.
Dustin Furman, executive producer. A little under the weather, I hear.
A little under the weather. Actually, no. I installed the Pirate Software voice change app, so I've got that little bit of a low tone for everybody.
I'm too old to understand that reference, I think.
Oh, well, that's okay. You're maybe too old.
He's a streamer. Don't worry about it.
He's a streamer. I was thinking, like, could I pitch shift my voice up slightly in post, and then I'll sound normal? Probably not. Maybe though. But yeah, I'm doing okay. Just I've got the throat coat, the Maddie recommended throat coat, ready to go. I couldn't miss this one, boys. I got too many things to say, so I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's good to be here with you, and hopefully the Super Mario 3 stream didn't take too much out of you.
How long was that?
6 hours almost?
Good
5 hours.
Did you beat it?
No, I played until I got a game over, which was in the 7th world. I actually got a game over. Yeah.
Oh no!
But you can go back to. I just didn't want to play that whole world again, you know.
Yeah,
and then I could have used the whistle, but I was getting tired. My back hurt.
Yeah, I mean it's a long stream. Yeah.
Yeah, I like streaming for a long time. It's fun. I don't really. The time I feel like flies by. Honestly, doesn't feel at all like I was there for that long. But I think I was holding Dustin captive. He doesn't really want to be there with me. I don't think very much, to be honest.
It was a little long. It was so long that my medicine wore off during it. So.
Oh damn!
But hey, that's okay. You know, we got to show the audience what we're capable of in these first few streams.
Yeah, they'll get worse from here. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, Brad Ellis.
Hello.
Good to see you, my friend. How are you today?
Good to see you, boys. I feel like whenever I'm with you three, I feel like I went to. It's like going to school and like going to another classroom and just seeing what's going on there. It's like a different vibe every time. I don't get to see you guys. We're all bros, but I don't see you guys very often. But other than that, I'm pretty good. My left eyelid is slightly swollen because of my allergies, so that's tight. But I'll be back to normal probably in a day. But otherwise, I feel pretty good.
My eye, it's funny. My right eye has been like flittering for the last few days. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what that's all about.
Do you have allergies?
I think I do, but I never really knew that I did until I moved here for the specific nature of the pollen here or whatever. Like, I used to think the whole allergy. I mean, I still kind of think it's a little outrageous. Like everyone's like always crying about their allergies. It's like, all right, enough already. You know, go take a Allegra and get on with your life. So I was always a little bit. I was always a little bit judgmental.
Yeah,
I'm still
aggressive about it.
Yeah, a little bit. Still a little bit judgmental. Well, you know. What were they doing in the 1650s? Were they taking? Yeah. So just man up. All right. Well, it's time to talk about Death Stranding 2. I don't know if you guys saw. We're recording this on a Wednesday. We're recording this the day before. We'll record Sacred Symbols for the week. This will go live after that, though. The Circana data just came out and had Death Stranding 2 as the best-selling PlayStation game for the month of June in the United States, which is a pretty big deal because it only was counted for 5 days. It came out June 26th of 2025 and was the second best-selling game overall in the United States as an exclusive. I think that's pretty great. I was surprised to see Elden Ring Night Reign at number 1. It's especially impressive because it's by USD and not by copies sold. That's a $40 game. So they are making hand over fist money on that game. And frankly, I can't believe it. But that's for another day, another time. Like people are just love this Elden Ring. You know, they just love this Elden Ring.
Yeah.
This Elden Ring.
They just love this Elden Ring and these Borderlands. So saw that. Nice little way to start things off is to see it succeeded commercially, which is awesome. It deserves it. And I'll be interested to see where it ends up in July as well, since a lot of people are probably picking it up late. But yeah, I beat it. We all beat it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still playing though. I'm really excited to see what you guys think of it. Let's go around the horn and kind of get some high level thoughts. And then we'll dive in and delve into whatever we want to delve into. So Brad, let's start with you. Death Stranding 2.
Sure.
Talk to me about it.
I loved it. As someone who played the first game pretty recently, it's an improvement in nearly every way to me from the first game. Pacing, gameplay, story. Well, story could be arguable. It doesn't have the impact of the first game just being this new weird thing, but it feels like such an improvement to me. Your Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, if you will. Maybe not quite that leap, but to me, it is a superb video game. And I really, really liked it. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year. And I am happy to see it sold well. That's good news. This is not a game I expect to sell well because it is so weird. Obviously, people like us will like it, but it's not a mass appeal game at all.
Not at all.
No, not at all. Like, if you haven't played the first game, you're fucked trying to hop into this one.
Yeah, I don't even know why you would do that.
You got to study up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know how it is. But yeah, it's excellent.
People are annoying. That's how it is. People are annoying. Yeah, I'll just play the sequel. Good. Glad you enjoyed it. I'll save my thoughts for last. Dustin, let's hear from you in your scraggly voice.
Sure. So Death Stranding 2, Colin, you said this yesterday or two, whenever the stream was earlier this week. And I think you're right in that it's a perfect example of what a great sequel should be. It takes the foundations of the original, expands on them, gets rid of all of the maybe annoying things that maybe weren't quite right in the original. And overall, I absolutely loved it, with some exceptions, I think. Especially now that I've had a few weeks to sit on it. I think the story might be the weakest part for me. And some of Kojima's writing. We can get into that, of course. I alluded to this on Sacred Symbols a few weeks ago that in Death Stranding 1, I think Kojima was trying to be a little more serious in a lot of ways because the story is so out there. Some of those wacky Kojima-isms weren't as present as his previous games. And I think Death Stranding 2 brought that back in mostly good ways. There are a couple examples in this game where I'm like, bro, I think you went a little too far. I was saying it's like George Lucas, where he's like, I may have gone too far in a few places. Yeah. So there's a few things I'm like, eh. Also, the most predictable plot twists ever, to the point where I don't even know if they're supposed to be plot twists. Because I just saw, from the very beginning, the two major ones, I was like, oh, is that it? Like, I thought that there was gonna be a second, like, diversion, you know? Like, oh, we want you to think it's this, but it's actually this. No, none of that. Just very predictable in some ways. But despite that, I still loved it. What were
some of the twists that you thought were predictable?
Number one, that tomorrow is Lou.
Yeah, I didn't know that, to be honest. So.
To me, I was like, from the very beginning when she showed up, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be Lou, because Lou wasn't actually dead. And that's how you know. That's how you know they try to get you off course there. But
yeah.
Also, a lot of the marketing was tomorrow is in your hands.
That's so interesting. I really wasn't paying attention to anything. So
yeah, I think that was really
I'm also not very smart, so I probably wouldn't have noticed anything.
The other predictable thing for me was Die Hartman being the what's his name?
Oh,
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, when you first meet Charlie, it lets you pick the different voices.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked all of them but Die Hardman.
Me too.
And it doesn't let you pick any of them but Die Hardman. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. Yeah. All right, we'll get into that. I just was curious about some of the things that you, because I was genuinely surprised by some things. Like, I thought the overall plot of segregating everyone, like, what I love about the story is that death is so powerfully dangerous that because of the void outs and whatever, that they're basically trying. It's a complete reflection of COVID, this game. I mean, you can see it, in my opinion, which I think is what makes it so brilliant, or part of what makes it so brilliant. Chris, let's hear from you. What are your high level thoughts on Death Stranding 2?
Man, this is a complicated one because I feel like I liked it more generally than the first game. I thought like as a video game, it's so much more competent. The pacing is so much better. I think the story beats hit a little bit more reliably. I think a lot of the gameplay systems are tweaked to, I think, perfection damn near. And there's a lot of just like straight up like gameplay, like the coffin board and shit, where I'm just like, this is sick. Like, this is just so cool. But at a certain point, it did kind of begin to lose me. And I think not that I ended up in a place where I didn't like it, but I got that feeling of like, okay, this is what I more or less expected this to be. And it's almost like the gameplay of Death Stranding is like the map of Breath of the Wild, where it's like, I remember playing Breath of the Wild for the first time and thinking like, yeah, this is pretty good. And then Tears of the Kingdom came out and I was like, oh, this is fucking fantastic. But as I was going through Tears of the Kingdom, I was like, damn, I kind of wish I didn't play Breath of the Wild first. Because this map is so familiar to me. This map is so, like, I've done this before. And that was kind of the gameplay of Death Stranding to me, where it's just like, damn, this is really good. But even when the first Death Stranding came out, I was like, yeah, this is a really good game. I don't want more of this, though, because I feel like the novelty of this, or like the experience of this, is interesting and it is novel and weird, but I can't imagine this sustaining me for another entire game. And I think I was kind of right. At a certain point, I did kind of was like, all right, I've built enough roads here. I'm going to mainline the rest. I just want to know what the hell is going on. And I completely abandoned like building roads and picking up random bits of cargo. I was just like, let me do the main orders. I get it. So I don't know. I still liked it, and I enjoyed where it ended up. And I like a lot of what makes this game up, and I think it's great. But in some ways, I actually think it might be, yeah, maybe if you haven't played the first game, like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe play this one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would hate for someone to do that. I would hate for someone to do that, but
I think I would too, but like I don't know. I see something here where I'm like, this is so much better in a lot of ways.
It's hard for me it's better than in virtually every way. I think there's a couple ways where actually the original is better, but not in almost any meaningful way. And we'll get into that. But what makes me sad about that is not only the story and the gravity of the character reveals and all the people that are randomly in it. Even really obscure shit like the Elder and shit like that. It's like I just feel like you don't appreciate the gravity of that stuff. But I think the bigger thing is you don't appreciate how much of a step up it is unless you played the original one. Even if you really insist on just messing around with the first one and kind of feeling it out, and then watching videos online or watching the previously on that they have included in the game, which I don't think is very good. I think it's actually pretty lazy. I'm surprised that they didn't put more time and effort into that instead of having it be voiceover that they probably wrote in a day and, some still screens or whatever. So that was a little disappointing. I think it's so good that it would be such a shame for people to not know in other words, I don't know if you could really realize how good it is until you have experienced the Stranding one.
Like, I feel like I'm in agreement with that, but also like I feel torn on it. I don't know. Because I did just completely run out of steam. Like, I think around chapter 9, which, to be fair, that's about when it starts to ramp up pretty quick. So like, again, it's way better paced than the first game. But around chapter 9, I was like, yeah, this is, I'm hitting that point. I'm mainlining this. I don't care about building a highway system for this world. Like, it's over.
Yeah,
like
the highway system is
completely left me, especially because like zip lines are so fun, and like the coffin board is like the way that I thought about it was just like, I'm just going to link up everything and then I'm going to use the coffin board for everything. I coffin boarded immediately from like the start, like where the end point is to the beginning, like that last area you connect all the way to the plate gate when you go back to Mexico. Right. I just coffin boarded the way through because like that thing is so strong and so cool.
It uses chiral crystals, right?
Yeah,
it does, but I was loaded because I was barely at the end. I wasn't using them for what is it for building
roads and stuff.
building roads and stuff. I was just loaded. I could just infinitely like fly on that thing, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
it's way better.
I barely used it, to be honest, because I it's funny how many Cairo crystals I had at one point in the game, like 15,000, and I was like, dude, they are really inflating the economy of this game compared to the original. Is actually one of my complaints. And then by the time you get to the end game, you're like, dude, I have nowhere near enough Cairo crystals to do anything I want to do. Like, so I have none now, and like all these things that I need to do, I'm like, fuck. You know, I was probably even too wanton with them at the time. All right, so my high level thoughts. I think the game's excellent, and my game of the year for sure. Although I don't think that means very much because I really have not played very many new games this year. There have just not that many that have spoken to me. So you're dealing with the likes of like Atom Fall and shit. It's like, obviously that's gonna be a fairly trivial game to beat. And I don't know like what comes out later in the year that might compete with it. I'm totally open-minded to Borderlands 4, Borderlands. I'm open-minded to Mina the Hollower and Power Wash Simulator 2 and all the other things. Ghost, yeah, I doubt that for me.
Not your style.
I've always said this. I'm just soft on Ghost of Tsushima. Like I like Ghost of Tsushima. I platinumed it. But I'm like, it's great. I don't want to say it's anything less than great. It's great. It's just like, yeah, okay.
No, I get it. Yeah.
It's like Samurai Game X,
right? Yeah,
fucking 27,000. I'm like, good, okay, good. But I also know people make fun. I'm in a lot of the same kind of slop shit too. But for me, I'm just so over the Asian history aesthetic. I really am. Like I am. I'm just over it. I'm over it. Like I just can't take it anymore. So like they're all indistinguishable from each other, like visually. And I was like, okay, cool.
Wait, you're not going to play Wu Chang Fallen Feathers?
That's another one where I'm like, this. I'm like, is that even is that made up? We're just making things up now.
Well, Colin, Onimusha, come on.
Oh yeah, Onimusha is different. That's true, though. But Onimusha,
that's the exception.
That's true. The thing about you're absolutely right, and also the thing about Onimusha 3, which was my least favorite, was that it was all. Well, I don't want to spoil it for people, but it's not.
That's not a spoiler, dude.
Yeah,
it's not a spoiler.
Yeah. Like it's more modern and so
everyone
and that actually kind of ruined it. So like I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth, I assume. But I am. But Onimusha, that's a little different for me. Fair. Touches me right in my heart, which is not on my right side. I don't know why I did it over here. That's not where my heart is. It's over here. All right, so Death Stranding 2, Dustin, you said it at the beginning, and it's kind of what I wanted to focus on here in the beginning was this is the truest sense of a sequel, and there are different ways you do sequels, right? We always talk about the NES era of sequels where they're like, we have to do everything differently. Like they didn't know like what that meant. They're like, we can't do the same thing. It's why Lost Levels never came out here. And it's so funny when you look back on that and you're like, dude, people would have bought like 17 versions of Super Mario 1 if you sold them, but you didn't know that at the time. Now you do. And even games that were truer, Mega Man 2, obviously, like, that's a seminal, in my opinion, in gaming history, one of the 5 probably seminal sequels where it's like, this is the game. This is the whole formula right here. Assassin's Creed 2, I actually think, is another example of that. And I think, and Uncharted 2, obviously, people said, although I think Uncharted 2 is a visual jump. I don't think the gameplay really changed. And that's
not like the core, but I think just, the technical aspects of it.
Yeah. And very quickly made. I mean, it's amazing that they did that in 2 years, right? Not even. It's like unheard of now. It's like not even possible. People have always overstated, I think, Death Stranding's. It's like Death Stranding is like PlayStation's Metroid. It's important to note Death Stranding is not a very popular game. It took it 2 years to sell 5 million copies, and that was a year after it came to PC. So it wasn't like it was just locked on PS4. It's not. It's a lot of copies. I would fucking die to sell 5 million copies of a game, but for PlayStation and for Kojima, that's pretty run of the mill numbers, low end Metal Gear numbers, and so this game was never going to appeal to all of those people. It was probably going to appeal to some new people, but people that were really into the old Death Stranding, you're talking about a few million. And I think that's kind of a shame. This is one of those games that's so unique and interesting that it should sell 20 million copies. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's so, there's nothing like this. And that's the way I felt about the first game too. It's not always the only thing that makes, let me back up. Unique games, it's unique. Their uniqueness is not maybe the most special part of it, but it's always a really poignant part of the experience. I always bring up Cuphead in this regard, where Cuphead's awesome, but it's the way it looks. It's like, it's totally unique, irreplicable, never been seen before. And in gameplay and in intention, Death Stranding and Death Stranding 2 are unlike anything else. You can't copy them. They're not going to be copyable. And we already know that because people would have already tried to copy the original Death Stranding. The zaniness, the Metal Gear style, Kojima-esque characters and world or whatever combined with this very rote delivery simulator. It's very weird. And Chris and I talked about that from the very beginning when we first covered the first one in 2019. But I think it's awesome. There are a couple of problems with it, but I think it's a better version of Death Stranding 1 in every way. And I'm impressed by it. I'm impressed by the ability to kind of see the original game for what it is and the framework of the game and just build around it and fix it. Go into instead of reinventing the wheel, you're kind of just fixing the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beautiful nature of a sequel, and what the potential of great sequels always are, is to just go back to the original and really a reminder of why so many developers are so eager to make a second game. It's not because in a series, it's not because they necessarily want to stay in that series, but it's because they know so much about the way the first game works and everything's kind of laid out. They don't have to do any of that anymore. Now they can focus in the seams on all the things that matter. That's how you get a combat system, for instance, in Death Stranding 2 that is substantially better than the original one, right? That's how you get the graphical fidelity of Decima, and arguably one of the most beautiful games ever in Death Stranding 2, in my opinion. Now, like the original Death Stranding, it's not a great challenge to make a beautiful environmental game like this comparable to if it was full of people and life and things happening. So I don't want to give it too much credit.
Right.
And there's just something strange about, I guess you would call it almost anime-like story sensibilities that you just believe. Or at least I did, where it's like, this is outrageous and yet awesome. I love this. Every twist and turn, every weird thing that's introduced. The doctor with two right hands, the Tarman in Hartman's body, and like black, tar cat. And it's like, yes, I love all of this, all of it. I love all of it.
Yeah.
Like it all just is it's a mixture, an admixture of just amazing ideas that you put your shoulder into as a creative, as an auteur, and you hope for the best on the other side. And I think that's pretty awesome. So I think,
yeah, it's like Metal Gear, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, definitely. And it's Kojima.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because even Zone of the Enders and stuff like that was weird. It's just that we don't talk about that very much because they weren't very big games. But
right.
These are the bigger games that he's done. And obviously everything's going to be compared to Metal Gear. And that's the other thing that I want to really outline is like, there is a Metal Gear game in here. There's like an authentic Peace Walker or MGS5 style Metal Gear game in this game.
Yeah.
It's there. It's there for you if you want to fuck with it. You don't really have to, with the exception of a few deliveries and stuff, but it's there. And it's awesome. I got to say, it's pretty awesome. There's a billion things you can do in the game. It's a true sandbox. Just the amount of weapons and options they give you to approach combat and all the rest. It's really cool. So yeah, I'll leave it there for now, but that's kind of where I do agree that I think the pacing's better. I do think it's a little disjointed. I do think that some of the things that they updated for QOL, like the map is too busy. There's major hiccups in the menus where the menus don't respond for sometimes seconds at a time. It's quite weird, actually. I think it's very unrefined for the rest of the game. It's weird that they can't fix that. It's like it happens fairly often. And especially I'm playing on Pro. So there are things that are weird about it and not improved, but generally speaking, everything moves in that direction towards, in my opinion, excellence. Yeah. Yeah. I asked all of you guys to collect some stats for me. I'm just curious, just to see how. So let me go around the horn first. Is anyone going to continue to play it? Because I assume no one's platinumed it yet.
No, I do want to go back to it to play more. There's just other games I'm playing right now at the moment. But there's still a lot I want to do in the game.
Dustin, you're done?
I think I'm done. I was going back and starting to toy with the idea of a platinum. And I just got too annoyed with how hard it was to 5-star certain places. Like it's a real grind. But I do have my stats.
Yeah, we'll get to those. We'll get to those in a sec. I just want to say, Chris, are you going to continue to play or are you done?
I don't know. I feel like it's a game I'll come back to every now. Like I feel like this is going to be like I'm itching for this. I'll jump in for a little bit and I don't know, maybe I'll flesh out some of the dark spots on the map that I haven't unlocked or whatever. But I don't foresee this being like a consistent thing. I've been itching to play other stuff, quite frankly. So like I think I'm just nice. It's nice to get it kind of out of the way and be able to kind of come back to it as I organically want to. But yeah, I'll keep playing it, but it's once every couple weeks I'll jump into it. Probably it feels like that kind of game for me, where I'll have an itch of eventually to play it.
Yeah, I'm still gonna continue to play it. I have played nothing but Death Stranding for almost 2 months at this point.
It's fucking crazy, and
I love it. I'm like loving it, just loving it. Now it is. I will agree. The end game is more complex than it seems. Not even because of the star ratings, but really that you have to do a lot of preparatory work in order to really make it efficient. And I'm kind of doing that now, and it's kind of annoying, like getting the roads upgraded. Like the fact that you can upgrade the roads and stuff and just fly basically is really nice. And I'm like, yeah, if I don't do this, I can still just drive on the roads, but I'm like, it'll just be faster if I do it this way. Like if I just take the time to mine items and do all these kinds of things. So that's what I'm trying to do now. All right, Dustin, let's hear some of your stats. We'll go back to you and so total playtime.
Total playtime. Where's that at on this list? 52 hours, almost on the dot.
Gotcha.
52 hours.
Porter grade,
264.
Nice. And then Legend of Legends evaluations,
73.
Nice. Total likes,
341,907.
And then distance covered,
444 kilometers.
What would you use most? The truck?
Looking at the stats here, 209 of that was the truck.
209 of that was truck. Okay, and then pieces of cargo delivered.
Pieces of cargo delivered would be 677.
And then total weight of cargo
11.1 tons.
Nice, very good. Brad, let's hear I want to hear from some of your stats. This is a good way to kind of gauge.
Mine are going to be very different.
Yeah, total playtime.
34 hours, 36 minutes.
Okay, Porter grade
215.
Yeah. Okay.
Porter. Oh, you want the individual stats too, right?
Well, no, that's okay. Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Legend of Legends evaluation,
38.
And then total likes,
100,00062.
100,062. Okay. Oh, wow, that's so just over 100,000. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Distance covered,
300.3 kilometers.
And then pieces of cargo,
383.
And total weight,
7.8 tons, I believe.
Interesting. Okay. Chris, what are your stats? Do you have them available?
Yeah. Which ones?
Total playtime,
47 hours, 47 minutes.
Oh, Porter grade. Yeah, that's interesting.
Porter grade was hold on, I didn't write that one down. I have it screenshotted. 244.
Mm-hmm. And then Legend of Legends.
That's the out of 400, right?
Yeah.
I did 18 apparently.
18. Total likes.
Total likes was 97,812.
Okay. Distance covered,
395.4 kilometers.
Okay. Pieces of cargo delivered,
395.
Okay. And total weight of cargo delivered,
7.5.
Nice.
And most of it was the truck, by the way, the distance.
What'd you say?
Most of the distance was truck, and then the second most, the second most though is on foot.
Oh, on foot.
Mm.
Yeah,
I walked
mine
a lot.
too.
Does that count the coffin on foot, or is that something else too?
No, I think the coffin's its own thing. I only have 17 kilometers on the coffin because you could really only use it once you unlock everything, which was
yeah
because it only works in the connected areas.
What a cool reward.
It is kind of cool, actually.
Okay. For me, it was 55 hours of playtime, very carefully measured, because it's an active time system. So I always just so when I need to do something, I save and then I just go to the menu.
That's what I do too. I like accurate playtime.
Me too. It drives me nuts. I've restarted games because of it.
No, I haven't done that, but I respect it.
because I just so very well remember when Death Stranding 1 came out, Power Picks released a trophy guide for it, claiming it took like some insane amount of time to platinum it, like 200 hours. And I was like, do you realize that like the time's being counted when you pause it? And then they had to upgrade it to like, to like 70 hours or 100 hours. I'm like, okay, yeah, I thought so. Porter grade for me is a 277. I am one off of having the trophy for, because you have to get 40 and everything to, and I am at 47, 77, 71, 43, 39. Oh, so I'm waiting for that one. That's stealth. Legend of Legends evaluations 122. Total likes 447,691. Distance covered 766 kilometers, 542 of which were by truck. Pieces of cargo delivered 836. Total weight of cargo delivered 14.8 tons. So I have a lot of work to do still. I haven't even attached, or I haven't even connected. Like there are probably 3 or 4 places I haven't even found yet. Well, I found one place and I couldn't interact with it because I didn't have the items they needed.
Yeah, I found like the art lady late in the game.
Oh, I don't think
she was in Mexico. But it was like during a key moment where I couldn't like interact with her. I was like, oh damn. I just have to go back.
I also made it's not a noobish move. It's just, I did it differently in Death Stranding 1 was, in the first part of Death Stranding 1, I really just did everything I could there before I moved on. But the game kind of moves you through the gate fairly quickly. So I've barely been back to Mexico, and I know I need to like fuck around there fairly substantially, and probably rob it of its resources as well. So
it's pretty small though compared to Australia.
You can drive with your items through the gate, right?
I don't know about that. I'm not exactly sure. Otherwise, maybe if you put them in the Magellan, probably can do that. But I don't know driving through it. Maybe.
I think you can. I think your items go, because I took the coffin board through.
Okay. Is it just like the teleporting things you can't take stuff with you or something like that?
Yeah, well that's true.
It's the what is it? The hot springs. And the hot springs, you can't take stuff with you, and then some other thing. But
all right. So what?
No, nice.
That was just an awesome long pause. That's all.
Yeah, sorry. I'm reading my notes. I'm trying to.
No, it's all good.
No, you're good.
So, okay. Sorry, I have my notes up here too. So, where do we want to begin? Do we want to talk about characters and story? Do we want to talk about gameplay? Do we want to talk about, what? I guess let's go around and talk about the plot and see what we think of the plot. Brad, let's go to you first. I mean, what sticks out to you? I mean, what do you think the game's about?
The game's about?
Yeah, like what is it? I mean, obviously it has a plot, but I mean,
it's like about, I don't know. At the end of the game, it's kind of just like about human free will and the human striving to fight through extinction no matter what, never giving up. That old cheesy anime shit that Kojima loves. That works really well in my opinion here. But yeah, it's a game about grief also and moving on. Because obviously Sam is grieving through losing Lou throughout the whole game, which I really loved, like how they showed him grieving, because Sam is a very stoic character, so I really like how they handled him. I wouldn't like Sam like bawling like a normal person wouldn't seem as natural to me. So him just being very stoic throughout the whole thing and just like putting a gun to his head multiple times is like yeah, that's perfect for a guy that can't die. I think that's handled excellent. But yeah, it's a game about, to me, just not humanity giving up throughout whatever. Because like, I don't know, all the extinction entities and the Death Strandings and Higgs wanting to bring it about again, and everyone's just saying what's the like the super like Death Stranding, they're saying that's coming, the inevitable one,
the last Stranding,
or something like that. Yeah, and they're like, well, humans don't give up and we're gonna deal with it. Fuck your little robot boys, we're not gonna be controlled by AI. And he's saying don't upload your mind to consciousness, or your consciousness to the computer. Don't do it what Mark Zuckerberg says. So I guess, yeah, scatterbrain thoughts about it though.
It's funny because like I think there is all of that. I mean, it is about loss and grieving, but I really think it's about taking human connectivity for granted. And
well, yeah, because they don't want the robots doing it all. There's something, the human element is important still.
Right, exactly. Like and this is where I think it's inspired clearly by COVID, in my opinion, is that they figured out a solution to live the solution is that they can't be around each other. That like people still have to live kind of in alienated and isolated ways, where there's human connection within these different knots. And that's one of the cool like little story beats or not story beats, but little texture that they provide is when you go to a place and it says the population of the place, and sometimes it's like 1 or 10, and sometimes it's like hundreds of thousands, and you never really see these locations. But I think it's so clearly written during COVID and created during this idea that like, yeah, we figured it out. If we just can kind of keep away from each other, yeah, we still have Zoom. And I remember even saying shit like this, being like, yeah, who cares? Like, really, we can just connect. It's like, what a great time for this to happen. It's not the flu epidemic of the 19 teens where like no one even had a phone and everything. We can just see each other and connect with each other and still get educated and still entertain ourselves. And a lot of us can still work and all of the rest. But there was a human element that I think was lost. I mean, I think there's probably a deeply ingrained anti-socialism, and I don't mean socialism, the political terminology. I mean like an anti-socialist sort of bent, where I think people are less social now. Things close down earlier. Bars aren't as populated. There's always these ideas, like you read little things and like from things I don't understand, but people saying like people don't dance anymore at clubs the way they used to. People don't connect and flirt with each other like they used to. They don't go to bars and meet new people like they used to. They work over email. They don't even have meetings together. They never see each other. They go to the office and it's, you see these people going, day in the life videos of people going to work at the office and it's empty because no one's there. There's something vacant about it. And I think that the story is about a reaction to that like, actually this isn't a good solution. And whether or not you believe that or not, I think I don't know that I agree that it's not a good solution, but I think that's what the game's saying, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's absolutely what they're saying. Yeah. That's the whole point of like fighting back into Stranding and not to let those robots, those 4,000 coffins or whatever, take over and become computer people.
This is the president.
Yeah. He had the Harrison Ford earring, I think, too.
Yeah. It was just that's the funny thing is that like, Kojima can't leave any character alone, or almost any character. Like every character has to have a little, even just a little
something extra, just
a
little
bit.
ass.
It's funny. Like no one's normal.
Like Diane Hartman coming out with like a towel around his waist and like a little black tattoo on his eye now. Always got to do something.
Which looks dope. I mean, it's dope. I love it. It's very
fucking crazy dance. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's
Chris broke the seal. I fucking hate the dance. This is where Kojima went too far.
It's quite terrible.
Like it I don't know if he saw how everyone reacted to Alan Wake 2 having a dance number in it and thought, "Oh, I need some of that energy."
Is that a spoiler?
Well, it's
not really.
They did the dance at the Game Awards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to protect you, my baby boy.
That moment. I'm sorry. I hate to break so far ahead in this, but like that moment, it was burning a hole in my fucking pocket. That moment, because I was like, it really felt like it was. It's weird. Look, I love Alan Wake 2, and I love Sam Lake, and I love that moment in Alan Wake 2. I think it's fucking fantastic. But it's weird to see. These are two auteurs I respect, like Kojima and Sam Lake, and it felt weird in a Kojima game to kind of feel like just copying like a Sam Lake thing. It didn't work. It felt weird. Like, and I don't know. I don't even know if it was like. I don't think it had a point. I don't think there was really a point to it at all.
No,
just to be weird.
Yeah, I think when you're a psychopath like him, you just kind of swing for the fences or whatever, and like. Sometimes some shit doesn't land. That's just the way it is on some of his things.
Yeah.
A couple misses every now and then.
Did you, when you got to this point, because I'm assuming it was in the last few days, did you think about me saying, George Lucas, I may have gone too far in a few places?
Yes, I did immediately. I was like,
the second part where I was like,
it was so immediate. Like even before he started singing, I felt like almost like the hairs on my neck stand up, where it's like there's a threat in the area. There's like this is gonna be a
instinct.
Song. Yeah. This is gonna be a song. And it was, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
I wonder when I saw it, what I thought of is I was like, I wonder. I don't think this is a spoiler. I mean, there's a very similar scene in Mad Men
I'm trying to remember.
I never seen Mad Men.
And it is super weird and like almost off-putting. And I wonder, that's a show that I bet you Kojima loves. And I wonder if that's where you don't remember what I'm talking about? There's like a really random music, like literally a random musical number in with one of the characters, like an important character, as the character kind of goes away.
Oh, maybe I do. I faintly remember this.
Yeah, I won't say who it is. I don't want to say any more than that. Everyone should watch Mad Men because it's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking of, honestly, when I saw that part. I was like, oh, like this is strange. But it's like, I don't know. The whole game is strange.
Sure.
Like you're saying, it's a spectrum of like how strange you want to be.
Is it kind of weird? I just wasn't fazed by it.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
The same way.
Kojima games for so fucking long. I always expect something stupid and random like this shit. Like Otacon talking about anime and just like, I don't know. It's just like something that takes me out for a second. But it was definitely like a little cringy. Yeah, I won't lie there.
It
that was cringy.
Yanked me out, dude. I felt like
complete disconnect.
I felt like Sam, like floating, like waiting to like fucking repatriate or whatever. I was like,
oh man, that's so funny.
What is happening here, man? But
I felt like that part I think is the biggest offense of going too far. The other thing that kind of started to not work for me is the Deadman, Hartman, like Deadman is coming back through Hartman. And at first it's like very segmented where it's like, oh, at nighttime he turns into him. That's how you find out. And then later they're like bouncing back and forth in this weird way. I was like, okay, this is, it just was a little much.
Gotta get the stopwatch out and time it.
I put the link for you, Dustin, in here. Just this might jog your memory. I wouldn't look at this if you haven't seen the show, and obviously no one out there will see it.
I'll put it on. I'm just trying to remember. Oh, this part. Yes,
I thought of that immediately.
Yeah,
because that was like so fucking weird, and also really sad. Which this didn't obviously hit that same beat. So a little different in that regard.
The only thing I'll say about the writing, which is like, I think generally Kojima writes really interesting stuff, and I think like, especially like plot wise, I think it's like it's all really cool. But I do think like there's like idiosyncrasies, or I guess the way the characters communicate with each other that's always off to me. And like one of the biggest examples to me in this game that sticks out to me in this game more than I remember in the first game, although I remember it in the first game still, was this desire to really like, I feel like the game thinks you're really stupid often, where it's like, Sam, this is Charlie,
this is Tarman,
Sam, this is Tarman. Also, like, as you know, it's up to you to plan your route as you go along.
Right.
I'm like 40 hours in and you're still telling me, it's like, yeah, by the way, you're going to want to, it's up to you. Approach this however you want.
I think that's a little Sony first party interview right there.
I don't even think so. I think there's another example that really bothers me that I'm trying to remember, but like it's so.
That's a really funny point. That's a really funny point because that is a really good point. It's like playing Mega Man, getting to Dr. Wily's castle, and then saying, "By the way, you can do anything in any point, any way you want to do it." It's like, yeah, I know, I've done it already. Like, I get it.
Yeah. There's a specific line that's repeated over and over again that I'm trying to. It'll come back to me. I gotta jog my memory.
I do find that there's a lot of wasted dialogue with Hartman or Charlie and with Tarman. Because it's like, I saw there was a perfect tweet going around about Tarman, which I thought, did you guys see it? It was like, it got retweeted like a billion times because I was like, oh my God, this really resonated with people, where it was something like, Sam, this is Tarman. There's been a slight wind, and so the DHV Magellan can't get to your location. Like that kind of, it's like so funny. I'm like, yes, like, why is this thing? They should have this. This is one of the things that I was going to complain about with the game. Is just like they needed to figure out the quick travel system that wasn't so obtrusive, because the reason they kept doing that in the store with story beats is because it would break that would break the immersion of the game or make it too easy. So it's like, yes, you should have just made it so that you can't teleport. Like, you don't need to explain it in a story like this. when you would go to your room and Fragile wasn't available in the first game, that wouldn't be an option in your room. You don't have to constantly like, half the dialogue with Tarman is about how he's not available.
Yeah.
He's like, sorry, me and my cat and my fucking weird arm are stuck over here when we're waiting for the tar currents to be fixed. So we'll see you next chapter. It's like, okay, that's the seventh time you've said that.
That cat also never really, I don't know. It's like a Chekhov's gun that never really goes off. I was expecting more of that cat.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was like a side story thing, if they would address it, but maybe they don't.
Yeah, maybe.
They don't. It doesn't. As in my research, because I was looking around, I was like, I don't even think it has a name, actually.
Yeah. It's not.
He's like, oh, it's my dead son.
I remember the line. I remember the line. By the way, it was the president calling. It's like, as you know, I'm communicating with you on the private channel.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And he's like surrounded by a red thing that says private channel. I'm like, I know. Every single time it was like, I hope you're aware of it.
While we're complaining about dialogue or whatever, Dalman a bit much. Where go and collect cargo. He's like, well, looks like we got everything we need, Sam. Let's head on back.
Yeah, that's like, Sony. That seems more Sonyist to me.
Dalman to me was like the most disappointing thing, actually. Because I was looking forward to like, oh, what a weird character. And it just turns out he's just kind of like, he is Atreus. Being like, oh, why don't you shoot a arrow over to that ancient rune, Sam? And it's just all this. He doesn't really like. I want to like him more than I do. You know what I mean? Like it's like, what an interesting idea for a character.
I just have his story.
Like, his story
is cool. But yeah, I know what you're saying on that.
His implementation.
He was like he was your therapist, I guess, throughout the game. He was Sam's therapist, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they do kind of make it make sense in some way. But yeah. I just remember feeling like, oh, he kind of just feels like a focus test kind of thing. Yeah,
he's your tutorial buddy. Yeah,
he's tutorial. He's tutorial. Don't forget, Sam. Yeah. And he's like, one of my favorite things, like when you get the books from Tarman and Sam picks him up to read them, and then the puppet goes.
Tarman, he spoils the whole book.
Yeah, the puppet just spoils it. It's like, oh, that's the one where the main character dies immediately, and you're like, oh, thanks. It's completely ruining it for Sam. I love it. I think that stuff's funny. Like, I don't mind that, but like, right. I thought he was kind of like a bit of a miss. It reminded me of like when they remastered or when they remade Medieval for the PSP or whatever, and they threw in like a little guy. They threw in like a little funny little fellow to follow you.
Oh,
to like talk about. Weird. Yeah, it's terrible. Don't play the PSP Medieval. But it reminded me of that, where I'm like, oh, weird. Like I'm seeing something I don't want to see right now with this character. But
I liked two things about one thing I really liked about Dalman, and one thing I think I was a little confused about. The one thing I liked about Dalman was that you're like the omniscient narrator, or at least have an omniscient point of view in Sam's world to some degree. And Dalman is the wink to the player that we all know that Lou isn't there, because he allows Sam to function and use the Adra deck or whatever.
Right.
And they never really addressed that until much later in the game. And I think that that's something that's kind of, when they finally explain that they've been lying to him the entire time, he's a key component of that, because the lie would have not been possible without Dalman.
Right.
And I find that interesting. The thing that I am confused about, and this is where I think Kojima's ideas maybe go a little too far, is I remember when we first saw the trailers, we saw Dalman and like the weird animation, like stop motion animation. I was like, this is fucking cool. It doesn't really play out very well in the game. Like I actually don't think they needed to do that to him. I actually think he could have just been a doll that moved like and animated like everyone else. In other words, it was one idea too many. I actually don't think it brought anything to the character at all. It was a cool aesthetic thing that really drew my attention in the trailer and in the the first stuff we saw. But in the game, I'm like, yeah, I don't really need. It's actually a little distracting.
I kind of liked it. I don't know. Add a little more charm and personality to him, I guess. I mean, he does it because Guillermo del Toro made Pinocchio, and that's probably why he did it, because it's stop motion. But I don't know.
Jesus
I thought
Christ.
it was a cool little effect. But I could see it being very distracting.
Yeah, like I didn't feel like I liked the character. I didn't feel like I really needed that. That was just a little bit of an element. The bigger disappointment to me, and I'm curious what you guys think of this, is kind of the way that they handled. There were so many great new characters that it didn't really matter, but I thought Hartman being a different actor was actually totally distracting. Maybe it's because I had just played the original and he's so prominent in that game where I said, I'm not usually tuned into that sort of shit. A lot of people like can hear something and be like, oh, that's that guy. That's that woman. And I played it for like 2 seconds and Micah was there and I'm like, this is a different actor. And she was like, no, I don't think it is. And then I'm like, no, I think it is. And I just went and looked and I was like, yeah, it's a different actor. And Deadman kind of being sidelined for much of the game, I thought was, and not there, is kind of disappointing because their friendship is one of the great things.
It goes by very fast. Him just leaving. He's like, I'm going to the beach. Stand by.
Yeah, it's like why? Like,
that was quick.
Why aren't you? He's supposed to be like your lieutenant in some ways. Like, and you built this.
Yeah, he's your boy.
Amazing camaraderie and friendship. I just was disappointed by that, and I thought it was cool that he would come back through Hartman and all that kind of. I mean, it's very Kojima, but I was just like, yeah, these two characters that were actually awesome in the original game were kind of like weak elements in this game.
Why was he hiding his identity from Sam for so long, though? When he was the robot?
For the plot.
I guess. He like made baby noises and did a 360 and vanished, I guess.
Yeah, that really... That really did confuse me. Because I remember at first I thought like, oh, is that like... At first I thought like, is that Lou?
That's what I thought. Like, is that Lou's spirit or some shit in the robots?
Yeah, but it just... And when
it's just Deadman.
Well, to be fair, when they did unzip and it was Deadman's face, I thought like this is sick imagery actually. Like the idea of like the guy talking, like him speaking through his own corpse and like this fucking bat, like that's fucking
just
sick.
some like marionette puppet of the corpse. Yeah, it's so good.
That is metal as hell. I thought that was like one of the coolest things that the game threw at you, outside of the obvious like final like the ridiculous. What is it? The kaiju fight at the end where like the Magellan attaches itself to a giant BT. I was like, this is cool. Like whatever the hell this is awesome.
We haven't brought up Higgs yet. We're almost an hour in. Dude. The guitar shit is so fucking cool. Like I love the guitar shit. I'm sorry. Like I think some people would see that and be like, what? Like cringe out of your body. You know, and
that's people that don't like Fat Man, Colin. We've gone over this.
Right. That's true. If you
don't get it,
if you don't understand Fat Man, you're not going to understand this. That's true. There's definitely an overlap there. I really loved it, and I loved it the more crazy it got. Like when he appears at the end of the game, and now he has like a ZZ Top guitar, which he spins like a ZZ Top guitar. I was like, dude,
yeah.
What do we do? This is fucking awesome. I don't know like where this idea came from, but it's so fucking funny and it's great. Like he's great, and I loved Higgs in the first game too. I love the Egyptian imagery, and I went into that when we discussed it.
He's so much more compelling in this game. I feel like though compared to the first game.
There's
like,
more of him.
He was
I think
cool in the first game. I think he looked really cool in the first game. I just feel like he was underdeveloped in the first game. He needed more from me. But in this one, they explore him way more, and he has like way more personality to me this time around.
Yeah,
he's more central to the plot, I think, this time too. Like as opposed to being a distraction. Yeah. Like he's on his own thing in the first one, and then in the second one, it's all kind of unified where he's working on behalf of this. There's like one central plot that they're all kind of working towards. Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just like, the guitar stuff was awesome. I love the design. How he just keeps getting killed, and just like. I guess he's like projected through these like the ghost mechs or whatever. The ghost mechs are sick also.
Yeah, he's doing some Final Fantasy stuff there.
Yeah, I like he's got like a strange, and obviously the guitar is obvious, but like the decision to just make him so music oriented. Like I feel like there's a lot, even just like what he says, where he says like same as it ever was, and I'm like that's Talking Heads what you're doing, and I'm just like I wonder.
That's what he said too. Troy Baker said that.
Oh, did he say that? I mean, it's obvious. Like you see it. It's just like, why would you write that line if not for a guitarist, if not to evoke that specific delivery? But yeah, him spinning the guitar at the end, like it turns into two dual. It's ridiculous. It's so cool.
Right.
It's like it's what Brutal Legend could have been.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I feel like it's weird. I was trying to figure out like why does the guitar stuff work for me, but the Die Hardman dance doesn't?
Because guitars are cooler.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I love, dude, Higgs. My favorite part about his character in this game is that in the last game, he is all about the extinction entity being Amelie, and Amelie is now gone in this game. And so it's like he wears the mask, and it's almost like they've turned her into like a religious icon. And also, dude, I love that the mask between camera cuts
shots,
changes the face, dude.
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
very.
That was a great touch.
I fucking love that. That was amazing.
That's a very Weeping Angel design decision. Like, very cool.
Hold
Yeah.
on, Colin. Is
Yep.
she stuck on the beach still? Is that where Amelie is?
That's where I
Okay,
what
I'm
I
trying to
presumed, yeah.
remember. Okay.
I mean, I think she has to stay there. I mean, that was the
Yeah.
whole idea of the first game, right? Was like she had it was an ultimate sacrifice to stop this from happening or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's funny because in the story, the extinction event stuff is like it's obviously prominent because that's what the Death Stranding is all about, but it's not really as important and central. It's not, which is what I think makes the game so interesting, is that it becomes so much more personal. And that's one of the things I wanted to ask you guys about. I don't know if this is shown through, but just from the very beginning of the game, one of the things that when we discussed the original game a few weeks ago, I was saying that one of the notable points of that game to me is really random in that it's when there's like the guy and the girl that like dates the guy and then she goes and moves with him or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Take her. Yeah.
and you take her, and that's the first time you actually see someone in person in the entire game. Like when you really think about it, you never see anyone in person. You're either on a beach or you're using these holograms or whatever. But it's like always at a distance. And that stuck out to me because I was like, oh, like there actually is, you don't have to infer the interpersonal stuff. It actually does happen. Here's a person. So it's not like some trick. It's not like a Truman Show style thing where you're not in on like whatever's going on. And then in this game, they just tackle that immediately and often. And I think that that's really cool where like everyone is together all the time. And
Yeah.
I loved that notable difference in the way the story was portrayed. Because like just seeing the way Sam and Lou live in their little place and like their interactions with each other. And like the higher and higher resolutions of textures and stuff is so cool too, because you can go around and like read all the sticky notes in the apartment, which are like a bunch of recipes and like things he's trying to make for Lou. I think that's like the whole little sub story there. And then on the Magellan itself, like you're just constantly with different people. And I really like that because it is different. It's not like spectral or AI or on the beach or in the space between, but in the real world. And
well, you even see other porters, which I don't remember.
They were in the first one too.
Yeah,
I don't remember that at all from my experience with the first game. So like seeing that was kind of like, whoa,
It seemed like there was more in this game than the first one, from what I remember. But Colin, you just played through it, so maybe. Oh, Dustin, you did too, so maybe could be.
Yeah,
wrong
there's definitely
there.
more in 2.
Yeah, there's way more because I remember there was a trophy for like exchanging something with them in the first game, and you had to kind of like go and look for one. I feel like I get docked points every once in a while because I run them over because it's like you're in the way, you're in the way.
Yeah,
jump out of the way. We have a pact.
We have a pact.
What about Fragile and her? Dude, I gotta say, man, like, I guess this goes into a thing I wanted to talk about, and I'll bring it up now. Is like, people use Sam to such a degree in these games that it seems it's almost flippant. Not only is this guy unable to die and like escape, right, like reality, but he has to be used by a series, like a cascading series of organizations and people, all of whom are like lying to him at different times and deceiving him. And as what you especially find out here is like he's a major victim of, like, his wife cheated on him, and like he's just been beaten. You know, he has this agoraphobia, and not agoraphobia. That's the fear of leaving your house, whatever it is, fear of being touched, and it's just and now they're lying to him about Lou, and they lead him along the entire game like he's victimized. And I really felt for him, and I was hoping that Fragile and him would end up together, I guess. And then you find out, obviously, that Fragile's been dead the whole game, basically. She's shot right before she jumps or whatever, and losing obviously that space between. And so it was so disappointing. I'm glad they at least got their kiss and like their intimate kind of moment from, even though it was in front of everyone. Like,
yeah,
I was really disappointed by that. I don't know. I really liked her performance, and I like that character. So yeah, I wanted to just any thoughts on Fragile and.
Yeah, I loved Fragile. Fragile was like, but she's probably one of my favorite characters from the original game too. And so like it was a bummer that was that whole. Yeah, I kind of agree. Where I was just like, I mean, this game's already so dire, and so I mean, it is significantly lighter than the first game just because there is so much weird, wacky shit in it in comparison. Like I feel like also everybody's doing this a lot more. Like the whole like
because that was only really Hartman would do that, and in the first game that was like his thing.
Yeah, and everybody's aping Hartman, but yeah. So that was a bummer. I did kind of see that coming in some, because I was like, not necessarily that specifically that she would be dead the whole time, but I remember thinking specifically like it's weird. The timing of that jump felt strange, and like how she gets reintroduced. There's something off about it from the beginning. I didn't really know what it was though. And so finding out that it was just like, oh, she's dead the whole time, I was like, oh, that doesn't make me feel good at all.
She was dead in the chair. I was like, she's dead, Sam. I was like, what the fuck? What happened?
Yeah, I know. I was just so
fine.
And again, it's like another thing. Like he has no hope. You know, like it's sad. He's a sad and tragic character.
Yeah, he is. Punish Sam.
Well, dude, that scene where he's getting killed over and over again with the
my god,
flamethrower! Yeah,
that was such a Metal Gear Solid 4 moment right there. The crawling through like the microwave thing. Oh man, so good.
Yeah, I felt for Sam a lot in this game, like a lot.
Yeah,
he's just a tragic character, and he's just so stoic, and just kind of puts his shoulder into things and does what he needs to do. And you have to really appreciate and respect that. I think it's awesome, but God, I feel for him on an emotional level. Like
hey, at least he got Lou. He got Lou in the end, at least.
Right, exactly. That worked out for him.
Sort of.
He got robbed, though.
Of the childhood.
Yeah, being able to raise her. And I think we were talking about this earlier, about the grief aspect of it. And obviously that hit me pretty fucking hard while playing this game. With Sam, too, I like that he has to, like, at the beginning of the game, come to this realization that, like, life and the rest of the world does not stop when something bad happens to you. And you can take your time. Unfortunately, Sam takes that time in not a very positive way. But eventually you just kind of have to be like, this is what I'm good at. And so I'm just going to lean into that in order to somehow move forward with my life. And then as far as Fragile, I kind of felt like her being dead was kind of lame. Just because it was, I'm trying to remember how it was explained. Like they're like her ha was killed, but her ka or ha, I can't remember. But they tried to really explain it technically. I was like, okay, I guess. I think it would have been more interesting if she just kind of died in a normal way, sacrificing herself at the end. But instead, there's this whole thing about how, like, well, she's also kind of still here, but not really. Because of this technicality, I was like, all right. Okay.
Any other thoughts we want to share about her before
I liked her gloves. Whatever spear was controlled those gloves.
Yeah,
that
that's kind of cool. Yeah.
The cigarette lights, that was great. Yeah, she loved to smoke.
Dude, the smoking was pretty hot, not gonna lie.
That was pretty cool. Like did you guys catch, not that it's hidden, but like I don't know what it means, where there's a shot of her sitting in the chair dead, and the hands around her neck are just, they're not blue and they're old. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that was the other thing. She reversed her aging. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Was that a reference to that all being artificial, and that like
maybe
The gloves weren't present though because she was naked when that happened to her.
Yeah, that's
in the first game.
I don't know. It's just something I noticed, and it's like for like it's not for it's like maybe like a 3-second shot. But I remember looking at it, I was like, what the fuck is that? And then they just like ignore it. Nobody mentions it.
It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it's like to show that she's like giga dead, real dead now.
she's
like
ultra mega
dead,
giga dead. Giga dead is awesome. But yeah, no, she's a great character. It's a bummer she's gone, but I don't know. I can't imagine a third Death Stranding. So like,
yeah, me neither. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Is that they obviously set it up for a third one, very Uncharted 4 like.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. First of all, I don't know that there's really a demand for a third one. I mean, I think there's a million people that would play a third one for sure, maybe more than that. And this game's better, so maybe it'll draw more fans to Death Stranding and become a bigger thing. But I don't get the vibe that it's selling extraordinarily well. I think it's doing very well. I think it's on PS5. It's going to sell a couple million copies there and settle into a cadence. People will pick it up when it gets cheaper, and it'll come to PC. It'll be on the same exact sales trajectory as the first one. It'll reach 5 million copies in a couple of years, and it'll come to Xbox. And I imagine they'll bring both of those games to Switch too. I think that would be a fairly wise thing. But I don't
know if Death Stranding 2 could run on Switch 2. Maybe.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, that would be
maybe if they like heavily alter it or something or compromise.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
It's just Sam's apartment.
Just Sam.
It's just the Magellan, dude.
Yeah, it's just the Magellan. You get to fly around and pretend like things are happening.
So I think this thing has like legs to do well and become profitable.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
but I also
they're
don't
doing
think
the movie too.
Yeah, there's going to be the film.
I wonder if that'll. What if the third game is just the movie?
Oh man,
doing it here.
Use
Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, is it? It's.
Am I thinking of no? I'm thinking of someone else. Yeah,
it's Elle Fanning, right?
Elle Fanning.
Elle Fanning. I was actually kind of bummed out that because when it ended like that, I was like, oh, are they going to do like a? Are they going to do a thing here? Yeah, like I thought they were going to do like, oh, are you going to be tomorrow after this, and like you're going to go and do deliveries this tomorrow, and maybe you have like new abilities or whatever, like her time stuff, and then like no, and that doesn't happen. And not that it needs it to be cool, but like that would have been sick, I thought.
Yeah, it's funny, Chris. I thought the same thing, like with how she's on that cliff top and the camera's like kind of panning around her, and you think it's going to lock in behind her,
yeah,
and then it will just stand there until you control it. I kind of felt the same way. I was not disappointed. I love Sam too, but yeah, I do think So I just wanted to say, I think they've set it up for a third game if they want to do one, but I just don't know how that happens because he's got to finish this OD project that he's doing or whatever the hell it's called, and then Fizzin'.
Yeah.
Which is I think going to be a really ambitious project that is going to cross over into Sony Pictures and everything. So
yeah,
I just don't unless they outsource Death Stranding, which doesn't make any sense. I don't see. So I just don't. So in my opinion, I just don't think there could be a third one because I don't know like when they're going to do it or how they're going to do it unless they really scale up. And since maybe if this game sold 7 or 8 million copies, they'd be like, all right, let's like hire up and do both. But since it doesn't demand commercially,
you could add it here.
Yeah, too, and I think that's fine. I think that's fine.
I think so too.
Yeah, a nice duology. We should probably talk about Neil.
Oh yeah, Neil Vana.
Go ahead. Solid Snake guy.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Like fake Snake, yeah.
Well, it's I mean, because it's funny because his face is totally different, right? But it is obviously Snake, like the Snake aesthetic, and I'm like, why are you? What end?
What are you doing? Yeah. Is that just a big middle finger to Konami or something?
Or is it
like that?
Saying something? Like, is it?
Yeah, I just probably think. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. I feel like there's a million things you could draw from it because, like, I saw people calling him Stranded Snake, which is that is I can't even explain how sick that sounds, but yeah. So that character kind of. It's weird, like that. Look, the fights with him get kind of bland at a certain point. Like it is kind of the same thing, and you can tell like they do the hero shot over and over again of like him, like with the gun in front of his skeleton men. They do it over and over again. It's like
it's just like Cliffhanger. It's identical to
It's
Cliff.
exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he is the Cliff of the game, basically. Although the combat is obvious, it's weird because I think it's these gameplay sections don't bother me as much as the Cliff ones did. I feel like just because I feel like combat in the first game was so not tuned correctly, or just like it felt awkward and it wasn't as elegant. So on that level, these feel better, but it does kind of feel like, all right, well, what are we doing here? I keep. It really is just like you shoot him a bunch of times and then you win. It is kind of mechanically really. It's mechanically very, very brain dead, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, Chris, it's something I think they shouldn't do 3 times in the game. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is cool for like 1, maybe 2 times, something like this. You gotta switch it up a little more, in my opinion.
I expected there to be just like, even if, because I recognize him clearly as like when you go to see him, it's like, oh, this is the Cliff. This is Cliff.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do this again, which means I'm going to fight this guy again. And obviously, because he's so heavily in the marketing material, like this is, and also this character design is sick. Like, you're not going to waste this. So like, you're going to do this over and over again. But like, I just kind of assumed like, okay, well, the first time you do it, it's like, all right, it's going to be simple. You're just going to find him or whatever. And the second time it's going to be something different. And the third time it's going to be something different. But it is kind of that first time over and over again. Like the last one does have like a lead up and a setup, and it does mix things up, to be fair. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Neil, because I was most interested in seeing like what this was going to be. And I think from a story perspective, I think it's pretty interesting and kind of cool. But I just thought the way he was used in the game part was kind of like a little underwhelming to me. But yeah.
This is a little bit of maybe like Dagan would call this like Spielbergian writing of like putting like a period on a sentence and then another period, like making sure you get it. But it's supposed to be Nirvana, right? Because they like his name, right? And maybe said in a certain kind of, because like the L to R kind of,
Yeah, I think so.
means English is nerve. And the reason I think that I would have never made that connection, by the way, but Dalman says it because he thinks that they're saying Nirvana over and over again. He's like,
"You're saying Nirvana, Sam?" Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. The character design is neat. I am surprised by how much they just, when I say they kept the original game intact, they really did. I mean, these are the Cliff Unger fights with the skeleton soldiers and everything, instead of taking place on different battlefields, which is the, World War I, World War II battlefields or whatever, like the first game, you're kind of in different locations. But it's surprising that they like went down that road again. And it's a little on the nose there. I feel that way even about the Higgs fight, where they bring up like the fighting game bar again, like health bar and stuff, like just in the first game. It's like, wow, you're really hitting a lot of the same beats, almost Star Wars episode 4 to Star Wars episode 7, where you're kind of like,
I wrote that exact thing down.
Did you? Oh,
earlier.
I'm sorry.
That was like, well, no, I'm glad, because it just means that we're thinking the same thing. That I was like, this sequel is kind of the Force Awakens for Death Stranding. That it is in large parts the same format with the same types of archetype characters, the same type of ending with, like you said, the bars and stuff, where I'm like, we've done this before.
That was we did that in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Right. He keeps doing this, like, he's like, oh, we got to have 2 buff boys fighting shirtless.
Well, you do that in Metal Gear Solid also. So yeah, I mean, it's fucking cool. I'm not going to complain, but yeah, it is cool.
But it is, it just, a lot of the stuff does echo. I actually don't really mind it because I think it is cool. And I also think we were talking about it on Sacred, like with Horizon and God of War, and people complaining about reused animations and assets and stuff. And I'm like, that shit is blatant in this game. That stuff's everywhere in this game. The animations are exactly the same in a lot of different ways. When you're delivering things to porters and the way the porters appear, to different places like the not cities and whatever, and how those people appear there and everything. Like, so yeah, they might have gone a little too far in not redesigning the wheel or remaking the wheel or articulating a better outcome for Death Stranding 2 that would be different than Death Stranding. So it's safe. Like I will say that, like, if you have a problem with Death Stranding 2 story, maybe it's that it's a little safe, but I think Death Stranding 1 is like the end of a trilogy in another world where like the stakes get so high that it becomes about like the extinction of humanity. But when you start with that, right, you can't lower the stakes. And there's almost nowhere you can go. Like, how much crazier can it get than like the end of all things? Like the universe is out of sync, and you must be eliminated. You're an accident, right? It's like, well, you started with that, so it's got to stay there. Right. So things are going to kind of, because like anything else would be less dramatic. I think that's just so. It would be interesting to see it in reverse, where the stakes were much lower earlier, getting to the point of this extinction, and then how much more that would pop. But that's not the way the story went. And that's totally fine, because I think that's Death Stranding's fun. I think it should have been called The Death Stranding, but that's neither here nor there. Would have liked that name a little bit better, but it's okay. What else? Let's talk about combat a little bit, since we were talking about the Nirvana fights. I asked you guys if you had ideal loadouts. And like, let's say you're approaching a base, Brad. Like, what are you bringing with you? How are you what are you doing? Are you trying to do it sneaky?
I always try to be sneaky, but if I get seen, things are going down. I don't reload or anything like that. We just play it how it is. I always had the silenced pistol, like the SOCOM pistol from MGS1. I was like, I'm never not going to use this kind of thing. Always had an assault rifle just because they're so fucking good. I feel like there's such a good weapon class in that game. And later on, I started carrying a shotgun too, for like the really heavier, like ghost units later on and stuff like that. But other than that, I was pretty light. Like, for a while, I was carrying around a ladder with me, and I was like, I don't really fucking need this thing.
Right.
So I don't know. I was rolling pretty light most of the time. Of course, like even shoes, I didn't have to carry with me or anything like that. I felt like everything. Maybe this is just me. Stuff seemed to last longer this time around. Like everything a little bit to me, maybe not like dramatically, but I don't know. My sand was pretty light throughout most of the game, because I liked, I had like the power gloves too, or whatever, like the electric ones you punch and like they would be way more effective. Those are fucking cool. But other than that, not a whole lot, because I had everything in the truck. I bring the truck with me a lot,
right?
And I just kind of park it outside, go fuck some dudes up, bring it all back.
Yeah, I had a dramatic moment with a truck. I was in like one of these bases. I brought my truck. I had this like truck I spent all of these resources on. It's armored. It's got like all the battery packs, and the gun, it's got like the gun and the grabber, which is awesome. Like so awesome. Love that. And it was just totally pimped out. And then I, shit went off, and I was like frantic, and I like grabbed what I needed and got out and got into the wrong truck, and then drove it away, like drove it, all That's the way sick. To where I needed to go. And then I ended up, that truck ended up, I ended up losing everything in it, and it was so expensive to make. One of the cool quality of life things here, though, is that you can save like your settings for the specific truck. So it's like this is and then just make it all at once, as opposed to having to do it piecemeal. So there are a lot of cool things like that. But yeah, I didn't use we can get into this a little later, but I barely made or anything or like deployed any items or anything like that in the game, less than I did in the first one.
Dude, when I got the pizza though, the pizza was with me for the rest of the game. They can like spin and knock guys out with it.
Yeah, I got it because I 5-starred the pizza guy, but I never used that item.
Dude, how could he not use the pizza, man? It's so fucking awesome. Just pizza.
Just kind of phased out when he was talking about. I didn't believe that this is real. Dustin, how did you? So Brad, so you try to be quiet, strangling dudes.
Yeah,
I loved in the beginning there was the pistol that was like the electric pistol that it's not very useful later on, because you have to, I guess people have armor and they're more impervious to it, but that was almost game breaking in the beginning. I was like, this is so fun. And even the way the game counts, like you can identify everyone very Far Cry like also Metal Gear like, but like, use your binoculars and kind of tag everyone that's there.
Yeah.
And then the game
Dalman.
Yeah, right. And the game counts. On the top, it'll show you how many, if you count all the enemies, how many enemies are left and stuff. So really, really fun. But then shit would go off and you would have to bring in guns blazing. Dustin, well, how would you approach these different gameplay scenarios, these gunplay scenarios, I should say?
Initially, when I started, I was trying to be sneaky because I was worried about how difficult it would be if I got caught. But as I played the game, I realized, and I think this is probably true overall, is that it's maybe a little bit too easy when it comes to combat, because I realized, like, dude, I can just like walk in here with a heavy machine gun and take out everyone. No problem. Like, maybe I might get hit
every time too.
Yeah. So I eventually was just going in with like a few assault rifles, the machine gun, and maybe a grenade, and just like walking up. It was almost like in Ghost of Tsushima when you walk up and you like announce yourself, where I was like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I'm just gonna blast everybody. So that's what I did, and it was fun. I want to shout out, though, this isn't a combat against human characters, but for BT battles, when they introduce that you can capture BTs and then resummon them later, dude, resummoning the BT is so fucking cool that it plays like this Godzilla kaiju fight music. And I don't know how many there are to catch. I think I caught 2 or 3, and they're really helpful when you have to fight the big BTs later on.
I never did that. I never even pursued that at all.
Dude, I thought you had to catch one from the main mission. Maybe
there was some, but I never like.
You never unleashed it,
dude. It's so cool when you unleash it. You gotta do it.
That's so funny. Yeah, I remember when the EX grenades, I think, right, or something. Yeah, I remember getting them, and it was like towards the end of a PlayStation. I was so tired, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. All right, whatever. I knew the premise of it. And then I was walking. It was like it's around that tar lake in the middle, and then you have to cross it to get to the next thing. And then I was so tired, and then I'm walking through this place, and then suddenly the lake is rising, and then like 6 BT lions like pop out of the ground, and I was like, I'm going to bed, and I shut it off. I shut it off, and I played it the next day. And then I spawned like right at the beginning, and I was like, do I want to do this again? And I was like, no. So I just drove around. Around that fight, because I was like, I don't want to fight anything right now. So that was insane. 6 BT lions or some
There's
ridiculous
only one for
number.
me.
I think there was like 3. There were like 3.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Minimum. But it felt ridiculous at the time, because and especially because I happened to I didn't bring anything. Like, I only brought the cargo and that EX grenade. And so I was just like, oh, well, I'm massacred.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I ran from that fight. Like,
I think you can. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think whenever you get stuck in those random tar situations, it's just like I'm just driving or running. I'm like, I'm not dealing with these. I would never voluntarily sit there and fight them. There were obviously times when you had to fight them, but I would never volunteer to do it, use all my ammo and all that kind of stuff. Although refilling the ammo is fairly trivial. So
oh wait, quick shout out. I want to give a shout out to the enemy variety. Much better in this game compared to the first one.
Definitely.
The first game there was like 1 BT plus you fight like the entire game. Like that giant lion thing, you fight him like 3 times or something like that. Way more variety this time. Like the flying one, super cool.
I really enjoyed the combat in the game, like going to the different, you would get deployed on a mission to like to go retrieve something from a mule base or whatever, or a robot factory or whatever. And I always use this. This is one of the things I wrote in the game, and as we were talking about the X grenades and stuff, is the game gives you so many options, and I just didn't use them. Like better
choice.
I settled into the sneaking boots. The boost skeleton, like the highest level boost skeleton, an oxygen mask, which I always just kept on. There was no reason not to basically keep it on. And when you go into higher altitudes, you're unaffected. And I also love the attention to detail in all the cutscenes, because the cutscenes acknowledge that you have it on, and it like goes up and stuff. So there's always a very nice attention to detail with that. And then I would carry on my backpack hook level 2 machine gun, and then in my backpack, I would carry a level 2 lightweight shotgun. And then, and this is one of the quality of life features that I think is underrated in the game, is in my gun holster on my leg, which is a cool idea and like something that it, again, just get some item off of your body, but you're going to need it. Is I would keep a tranquilizer in there, but that became less and less useful, and I never really drew it anyway. So, and then I would just basically every so often I would keep an eye on this, because your ammo refills over and over again, but eventually these things all break. And so I would just keep an eye on like where they were as I was fabricating other equipment. And then I would just replace and swap everything out for new ones every so often. But I really settled into that particular loadout. And then I in the beginning of the game, I did use the sniper rifle more, maybe I just haven't unlocked it yet, but I was kind of hoping that, because this is obviously always the breaking gun in Far Cry is like getting the silenced sniper rifle. Because then you're like that's the best thing in Far Cry. It's just like the funniest thing to do is just, and then you're totally impervious and take out entire bases without entering them. There's too much of a penalty for using the sniper rifle in this game. So I quickly, in that it attracts everyone towards you. So
I'm sure you can unlock a better one probably, right?
Yeah, I just haven't done it yet. So I have 5-starred probably 7 or 8 facilities, but that's not even a fifth of them. So I have a lot of work to do in that regard. So yeah, I would approach everything and I would try to be quiet. One of the things I like to do is to kind of circle around use the Audra deck to see the silhouettes of everyone. In fact, you can unlock in the in your skill tree where like if you're even in proximity of someone, it will just show it like their silhouette, and try to just kill them in kind of a concentric circle around the outside and get further in a spiral. And this attracts the enemies towards. So like, it would be funny as hell. You could kill an enemy on the outskirts of a base and then slowly attract other people to it. And then you'd have like 7 or 8 bodies just stacked up there, and people would just keep coming towards it. And then they would like kick the bodies and try to wake them up and then attach them to a coffin and try to bring them and revive them or whatever. Also attacking the sleeping soldiers is funny. That's like a whole new thing in the game. The whole day-night cycle being, there is no day-night cycle in the original Death Stranding, and we were discussing on our conversation about that if it was intentional. Like Adam Fall doesn't have a day-night cycle. I think it's intentional. I think it's a part of the story. Death Stranding didn't have a day-night cycle, and it was conspicuous and strange. And I don't think part of the story. I just think maybe something they couldn't get working or didn't think it was important. I think it really plays an awesome role here, and in combat especially it does, because you can, depending on the camo you're wearing and whatever, you can really sneak in and do a lot of damage, and it's fun. So I loved the Metal Gear-esque, Hitman-esque, whatever kind of combat in the game. I thought it was really, really cool. And when you're fighting the robots later on, some of the big, like bulky machines carry their own like huge guns.
Oh, the heavy machine gun.
Yeah, and those things are fucking crazy. Like, I would always be looking for those guys and trying to kill them first, because if you could just pick up one of those, you could wipe them out in like no time at all. So it was always like really, really fun to do that. But I thought it was really creepy too when you would sneak around the robots and they're all suspended in the air. It's very cool. Good. It's very cool imagery. And
it is.
There's that first time you go to the factory to steal something, and I did it without them waking up or whatever, which was really cool. And it was like so unsettling and eerie.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think you guys are right that there's so many different kind of combat options with enemies. I think it's great. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like the design of the game, Yoji Shinkawa, his like art is always incredible. Like all the ghost mechs look so cool, especially like the bigger ones that you're saying that have like the guns. They're like the dog robot guys, and they like stand up and they have like a human torso and everything. Man, and their clothes they wear in the game are so rad. I just love the design of this game. It's so good looking. Everything looks awesome in it.
Yeah, they remind me of, there's like little pieces of, it's not Star Wars or like Return of the Jedi Royal Guards, but people might remember in Shadows of the Empire, there was like an armored soldier unit that wore this red armor, and they look a lot like them. They remind me a little bit of Crimson Guards too in G.I. Joe. Like, just there's something ominous about that dark blood red armor. Yeah, and I love how how one of them appears with the actual sarcophagus for Higgs, and like it's on his back.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Oh yeah, what were those guys called from Shadows of the Empire? What a pull, dude.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? I had the toy.
Yeah, Imperial Guard disguise. Yeah, I had the Luke Skywalker disguise.
Because Luke disguises himself as one. Yeah. They kind of, that's that same red color.
Yeah, wow, what a pull.
I'm a nerd. Yeah, I'm a huge nerd.
Yeah, you are.
What did we think about this is one of the things that I think that I love about this game is the setting, or we could say settings. Kojima's fascination with the United States is well established in most of his games, and that's cool, and I appreciate it. And I think I love outsiders' views on our weirdness and our culture and our political systems and conspiracies and all that. I think it's fun. I think it's a great compliment to our society that we attract that level of attention, and people kind of interpreting it through those lenses. But I've always been eager. It's one of the things that was kind of disappointing about Horizon. If you were disappointed about anything with Horizon, it's like, oh, it's another game that takes place in like a post-apocalyptic United States. And here we are in Death Stranding 1 in a post-apocalyptic United States. So going to Mexico is really cool. And then finding your way into Australia is really neat as well. These places are kind of indistinguishable from each other at the end of the day. They have snowy locations and desert locations and coastal locations and watery locations. But I just thought finally like getting this out of familiar environs, people with different accents, different names, different customs, whatever. If anything, I was surprised by how Australia seemed to be covered with some Australians, but like a lot of other Americans, Indians, like, so all sorts of.
The VTuber.
The VTuber,
yeah, that's right.
Pecco.
So yeah, what did we think about these settings? Did they? Chris, did the settings do anything for you of Mexico and Australia?
I mean, it's cool to know that you're there, but like you said, it doesn't really feel like you're in Australia or like you're in Mexico. It kind of feels like you're just in places that are kind of shaped like them. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
so
that makes it perfect.
So it was. I didn't really mind. Like it was kind of like a net. It didn't really amount to anything. I was just happy to be playing again and having like a different terrain, I guess, like a different overall map to experience. It could have been a completely fictional landmass for all I care, but it was neat kind of seeing the silhouette of Australia and like moving through it, and you just kind of like, oh, this is where this would be, or like this is where Perth would be, or this is where Sydney would be. It's kind of interesting. This is where Canberra is, but it doesn't really. It's kind of like I felt the same way in Death Stranding 1, where I was like, yeah, this is the United States, but like I'm standing in New York and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just Iceland.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't. Yeah, it's so I don't really know what to make of that. Really, it's neat to have new places to go through, and the environmental diversity is like way grander. Like there's more, obviously the entire desert location, and there's the entire the tundra, and like the mountainous place where you first start off in the immediate, like the first time you actually move in the game on that mountain peak with the music going. Just like, oh, this is like a very this feels different because there's more styles of terrain. There's more dense foliage. It's cool. I like it, but like I don't think that really stems from it being Australia or Mexico. I just kind of feel like they were like, we need more biomes.
Yeah,
so
totally. I think you're right. I think you're right too, that you could kind of infer where you are on the map of Australia. Like the game, I think, starts in Perth, or it seems to, and like once you get to the Australian map. But that's, again, just inferences. Obviously, in the original one, capital not city is DC. I always interpreted Lake not city as St. Louis. I don't know if that's true or not, and so on and so forth. Mountain not city was Denver. So yeah, but it is a cartoonish version of Australia. I'm not an expert on Australia at all, but everyone lives in the southeast part of the country. I think like almost no one lives anywhere else except for Perth on the west coast, and there's no mountains in the middle of Australia. And it is weird that there would be so many settlements in the middle of this place when there really were no people in these places before the Death Stranding. But maybe you can kind of describe that they went to these kind of more remote places to get away from these population centers. So it all makes sense. But yeah, I dug it. I mean, it was cool to just be and feel like I was somewhere else, because I just think the American setting is just becoming too much.
Yeah, I do wish there was maybe even if it was just like nothing but like maybe like an invisible thing to interact with that was like maybe like a lost item or something that kind of denoted where you were, or like the tip of like a build. Like it's weird to me that you're in these places that you're already in real Australia, and the game says, oh, you're in real Australia. And even in the first game where like you're in the United States and you're connecting America, and there's no real, I don't know, there's no like
There's no like signs saying.
Yeah, there's
there's
no like the tip of the Statue of Liberty or something, or like because in Australia, I don't know if you, but I don't know if you went to this place in the middle of the map, but like in the middle of the map, like around I think in the Tar kind of pit lake thing, there's just like this like Japanese arch that's just kind of chilling there in the middle of.
Oh, is it like the
gate?
Toei Gate?
Toei Gate.
Is that what they're called? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I think so.
TORI.
There's multiple throughout the map. There's like a
That's the only
there's
one
one
I
in the
saw.
lake and then there's one on a mountain too. That's like a bunch.
Weird. I wonder if that's tied. Maybe that's tied to like a trophy or something. But like seeing that kind of bugged me because I was like, oh well. So you can put things here. Why this though? Why this in the middle of Australia? Like I don't know. It kind of bugged me a little bit because I wish there was more of like a tangible connection to like what these places actually are, even if it's the slightest, faintest hint, like I don't know, like a taxi fender in New York, like dug into the ground somewhere. That's it. Just like a little sign. But I think this game kind of makes up with the. I feel like this game gets away with it because of the wildlife, like the kangaroos and shit. Like it kind of makes you feel it. It kind of sells Australia a little bit more than.
Damn, dude! I accidentally killed so many animals.
Dude,
you get dock points for that too. I think.
Yeah,
they go on the roads.
I know.
Sometimes, and you're like, it's not. Look, it's not my responsibility if you go on the road and I run you over with my 15-ton truck. But yeah, no, I like the. Did you guys ever accidentally kill anybody?
Nope. Like other porters?
Yeah. Well, no, just like human enemies.
Oh no, I didn't in this one. No.
So I didn't in the first game, and so I did it in this one because I saw the ghost blade and I was like, oh, this blade is sick. And I just figured for some reason, like, I don't know why. I use like video game logic. I use video game logic to be like, because you're hitting people with grenade launcher shots, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like incapacitating them. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe the blade works that way. And then Dalman's like, Sam, you just killed 5 people. And I'm like, oh, no, avoid out's coming. Oh, shit. So I had to like evacuate before shit exploded. And I love that, by the way. That's a really undervalued, I think, part of this game. Like the sheer, the way the game really, really doesn't want you to kill anybody. It's and the consequences for killing people being so vast and so important, I think is really dope.
No, it's awesome, dude. That's one of the things I was saying because I never had the first game. I would kill people all the time in the first game, and then basically Deadman would keep warning you, being like, you have to incinerate the body, and I would just let it go and go and go, and then eventually he would just explode, and then you would just go back to your last save, and it would just be over. So I felt like there was no penalty for it, and then in this game I never killed anyone, which was surprising, but I was, I guess, using non-lethal rounds. But
they make it way easier this time. They give you like weapons with everything has non-lethal pretty much right off the bat.
Dude, like
you don't have to worry about it.
That's why I thought like maybe the blade had like a stun.
Yeah, you just forget about it.
Yeah.
The important, I think one of the vital things to understand about the story is, and what I think is so fascinating about the world that they've created, is that the timefall is being created by humans that are incinerating the bodies, and it's a better better outcome than the void outs. So like they have it's like a Hobson's choice. Like you either have these nuclear level explosions every time someone dies and goes quote unquote necro, or you incinerate them and spill chiral energy into the atmosphere that then rains down on you. And that's fucking awesome. It's so like they have to do one or the other. I was thinking, I'm like, what else could they do in this world, like to stop this? Could they bury them, put them like deep underground? Like
I don't know.
Isn't the tar pit? Can't they throw people in the tar pit?
Yeah, maybe that happens. I think that happens. I think in Death Stranding 1.
Yeah.
Sending them like reviving some sort of space program and getting the bodies into space. There's doing like I was just thinking, because like the timefall it's a reinforcing principle. It's the only way they know how to deal with death. I think that's one of the really cool functions of the story, is like they're doing this to themselves.
Yeah.
Because like you would think maybe like a better outcome would be some place where like, because it takes a few days, I think, for the bodies to like go necro. So like maybe you have like this one location where you're constantly shuttling bodies in and then getting out. So like the explosions are happening in the same place over and over again, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So
it's weird because Neil, he necroed like early when they had him on the operating table. It wasn't like the normal amount of time or something like that. So it must be unstable in some way.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just like that little kind of tip of the cap to the like the incinerators play a fairly important role in the first game, and you don't really hear about them in this one.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, I love that the idea. And what did you guys read? It might be explained somewhere. I didn't read the corpus deeply at all in this game. Just because I'm still kind of playing it. I'm not really done yet. I'll sit and kind of settle with it like I do with like Control or something, where at the end I'll just like sit and try to read as much as I can and figure it out. But how are there animals and plants?
You know, Holly asked the same question and she knows nothing about these games.
Yeah, like
it's that obvious.
It didn't make any sense. Like the entire idea, Timefall is water, and the second it makes contact with something, it turns into normal water. So like you can drink it and all the rest. But the damage it does to plants, that was what was so cool about that animation sequence of the plants living and dying really quickly in Death Stranding 1 as it was raining. It's like a super cool idea. But there are and it could be as simple as we were saying earlier, as like different biomes, but like I'm in like a jungle kind of biome. I'm like, this is beautiful. This is awesome. It makes me feel like I know exactly what the next horizon is going to look like. But how do we have mature palm trees and kangaroos and things like that? All this is supposed to kill them.
I had these questions too, and then Higgs gets eaten by a giant baby.
Right.
And then I was like, all right, maybe it doesn't matter. like of the outlandish things in the game, at a certain point, like, yeah, the like whether or not a plant could survive Timefall kind of became less and less of a fixture in my mind.
Yeah.
That scene is insane, by the way. But before, I wanted to mention something before. It's completely off topic,
yeah,
but like I want to mention it before I forget. Colin, specifically, is it not funny to you that like APAC is in this game, or like APAS?
Oh yeah.
Like I was cracking up like damn near every, like, because there's APAC and APAS like in the game, and I remember hearing APAC. I was like, are you serious?
You think it's intentional?
No, I don't. There's no shot. But like,
yeah, because I was thinking I thought that too, and I was like, it's weird, but I can't really actually see the.
No, there's no. It's definitely not intentional. But I cracked up the first time I heard it. I was like, APAC is in this game. That's insane. But that's the complete aside. I just wanted to mention it because it's insane.
Speaking of APAC and APAS and all of these different things, the Magellan logo, drawbridge. I want to get a couple shirts made, and I got to figure out like which one of those I'm going to use.
Man, yeah,
I think
it's a good logo.
The Magellan one is definitely one I want to get. The
die Hartman vessel Magellan.
Die Hartman
vessel Magellan. Yeah, they say it every time too.
Die Hartman vessel. Very, very good.
Magellan.
It's Taw Man. Engines out.
Engines out. Get going, bitch.
Sam, it's Tom in. Just going to say hi.
He reminds me of my dad, like when my dad calls and says it's him. So I was saying on Sacred Symbols, I'm like, I know it's you, dude.
Yeah,
an old dad thing. I don't know.
It's like I can see that your name is up here. What else? What is there anything else you guys? I mean, there's a bunch of things we could talk about, but I feel like I'm kind of driving. Is there anything that we haven't said?
I have two things.
Go ahead, Dustin.
A light one and a serious one.
Okay.
First of all, we talked about the VTuber briefly, which I think is hilarious. I'm not into VTubers, but I love the VTuber in this game because it's never acknowledged that she's an anime girl. Love that. The hat that you get, I don't know. Has any of you guys put it on and worn it?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Sam will uncontrollably say Pecco like every 30 seconds. And then when he punches stuff, it'll be like Pecco. And even, dude, you do the pizza moves and it'll be like Pecco. Like, dude,
it's so good.
It's out of control. It's so awesome.
I love that he can just understand Japanese too.
Yeah.
When she's just speaking to him.
Yeah.
Like, damn, Sam. Okay.
The other thing, the serious thing, is the ending with, I guess, is it a pack or a pass?
It's
There's
a
both.
pass.
There's both.
But there's both. But a pass is, I think,
A pass.
whatever one.
Ape ass. Yeah.
Right. So this is kind of a little bit of a disappointing part of the game for me, because I feel like this was the thing that really was different from Death Stranding 1, was this idea of like, there's this organization, we don't know much about them, this president character, who is he? This is something that's probably going to be unique to me, but that whole plot point, very Evangelion at the end, to the point where I'm like, I know, well, being that Kojima's Japanese, he's seen Evangelion and End of Evangelion, but it's a little like on the nose, and I don't want to get into spoilers for Evangelion, but it's like, dude, you've got these like black monoliths that are working towards a hive mind situation. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing here, which is cool, and I like the way that it's like inspired by it. But being that was the thing that was the most new and interesting to me from the game, the fact that it was so similar to something that I already love was a little bit disappointing. So what do you guys think about that whole, like, the president, and Colin, you mentioned how he like turns into the old man, the farmer. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think I found that entire arc kind of to be, I mean, it's all interrelated, obviously, but to be the least interesting part of it. It makes sense. Like it is very, I don't want to speak out of school because I'm not really too knowledgeable on it, but like it's very Marvel villain. Like we are going to control this whole situation to stop you guys from fucking everything up. It reminded me a little bit of the Matrix. But it's not the same, because it's not like you're batteries and you're in fucking human pods and stuff. But it's just to say, like, we're going to control you to other ends, and like your existence is meaningful to us, but not for the way you think it is. And giving you free. I think it was said earlier. It's a game about free will in some sense, like about being able to live and die on your own terms, but that not really being possible in a world where your death is so dangerous. Because we have worlds like The Last of Us or The Walking Dead or whatever, where like death is dangerous, but not like this. You don't create a weapon of mass destruction with every corpse. So someone in some fascistic totalitarian way is trying to control the situation. But it's also towards a different end of The Last Stranding and all of the rest. So I don't want to act like it's not interconnected, but for me, I just felt like I was just not that interested in him compared to the smaller but still more meaningful things that were going on interpersonally with the characters, which is what I think makes this game so much better and so much more significant than the original one is the inter-character play that exists almost as a sort of phantom in the original. Like that's what makes we'll spoil the original one too. It's like the ending of the game is so powerful because you're around people. And it's what I was saying earlier is like, so when you're talking to Die Hardman and you have that kind of rough interaction with him at the end of the original game in the hallway, it's happening in person. It's like really the only time you've interacted with him that way. And so I couldn't help in this game to focus on all of the interpersonal relationships that were happening before us. And the president happens to be one of them that is not interpersonal. So it almost feels like it's from the last game. Does that make sense? I don't know. Now, I did like the idea of there being like these mysterious shadowy benefactors, and it's clear that Kojima I always read him. I don't read his politics. I don't even really understand Japanese politics or like what the different parties are or whatever, but he's a skeptic of power, let's say. And whether in Metal Gear Solid that plays out in the military industrial complex and private militaries and, obviously corrupt governments and all the rest.
The Lale Lule Lo.
The Lale Lule Lo, right. It's so sad that we can all say that so easily.
Lale Lule Lo.
Yeah. Lale Lule Lo. Dude, it's because the end with spoilers.
Yeah, so don't spoil it. But in this game, it's about a wider degree of skepticism, but philosophically, that people. It's not about the American government or whatever. It's because the American government doesn't really exist anymore. It's about a new entity filling a power vacuum, and there being a skepticism about what the intent is of their work, because it seems like the chiral network. Like the one thing in the game is that like they're not expanding the chiral network out of the goodness of their hearts. So what are they doing? Mm-hmm. And they make it seem like it's being done for altruistic reasons, but it isn't, and ultimately it isn't, and it's being leveraged for power, and so that's more interesting in and of itself than the individuals that control these different companies and these different governmental agencies. And you find out everyone's basically corrupted. I mean, you even find out in the Nirvana stuff that Bridges is, which you kind of understood in the first game, but is deeply corrupt and fucked up. So like, there's really nowhere to turn except for Drawbridge. And then you find out that Drawbridge is kind of corrupted, but not by the people that work or operate it, by the people that are funding it and utilize and using it. Everyone's being used on a different level, I guess.
Yeah.
But again, it's Marvel villain-esque because it's like you kind of understand the intent, where it's like, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to clean this place up, but I'm going to do this really crazy shit to do it. That seems to often be, the end result of these kind of more morally gray situations where it's like, I'm doing this for the greater good, as opposed to just a terrorist organization or something like that. So,
yeah.
Anyway, that's a long-winded answer. That probably didn't even answer your question.
I don't know. Shout out to it's not really to do with anything, but like in the beginning of the game, one of the first things that really got me was like that they use, and this comes up a lot in the game, this raindrops are falling on my head song, which I adore. It reminds me immediately of Spider-Man 2, so I was like, you got me. But it comes up a lot. Like they sing it to each other as like a lullaby. And like it comes up again, like at the end. I'm like, what is the significance of this? Because there's a lot of music in the game. The MP3 player, by the way, so good.
The MGS.
Oh my god,
thing. Mm-hmm.
So good. Yeah, there's so much Metal Gear Solid 5 in here. It's insane. But I love that song specifically is like, for some reason that stuck out to Kojima as something to like latch onto, to the point where like characters are singing it to each other. Like there's a lot of music in the game, but like that's like the one canon in universe song that they seem to all know, except for the BB's theme, which comes up awkwardly at the
I love Kojima's naming conventions, how like straightforward they are.
Yeah,
Rainy, Tarman,
Tallman.
Dalman.
I like
Yeah.
I liked
it's so sick.
I liked Rainy a lot.
Yeah.
I thought that was
she was cool.
That was a really cool character.
The whole thing with the doctor and everything, yeah.
And I love she to me is the most Metal Gear coded character. Like you could see that there would be in Foxhound or something like a character where it always rains when they're around or something like that. Totally. 110%. Some weird MK Ultra experiment that like went awry, and this person always just attracts like
the Soviets did an experiment.
Totally.
Like
that would be like, and they would call it. He would be in Metal Gear Solid 3 or something, and they'd call him the Rain or something. So
sorrow.
I really liked her for that reason, because I was like, yes, this is even her, and obviously she's permanently pregnant for reasons that have to do with the in-game story, but like even that weirdness would make sense in Metal Gear and stuff somehow. Is like this pregnant, character. Yeah, where it always rains. So I really liked her. I thought she was quite pleasant and interesting, and I liked their relation. I liked the game felt very feminine in a way, like with a lot of female leads, a lot of powerful women characters, and a lot of screen time for those women, and camaraderie between them, which I like really enjoyed. Actually, I thought it was cool. It felt balanced and interesting.
I like when you're going, like when you're in the DHP Magellan and you go to the bathroom and you walk through the hallway, and like you're always seeing like these little vignettes of like, these vague, even if it's just like hey Sam, it does do a lot somehow. Like it, like that very little bit of screen time does a shit ton for like you believing that these characters like each other. Cause there's a lot of games where I feel like you're just meant to go along with the fact that these people know each other and that they get along, but you don't really see it. And I feel like they do a good job of kind of establishing that here. Like there's a lot of cutscenes that ostensibly don't really have anything to do with the greater story. I mean, they kind of do, because you see like Rainy or Tomorrow like trying to control like the speed of the apple or whatever, like the aging process of the apples, and like that's relevant because it's showing you that progress is being made. But sight unseen, it kind of like, if you're not privy to what's happening, it kind of feels like nothing's going on. It just kind of feels like a slice of life, kind of like, all right, I guess they're doing that, and it all kind of wraps up, and it's nice.
There are a lot of human touches in the game. I'm sorry, Brad. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it sells the idea of them living on the Magellan together. Just little tiny interactions like that go a long way.
A few other things I wanted to throw out there. I really liked, there are a lot of like little touches that I think make the game more robust and interesting. I brought up the corpus earlier. There's a lot of documentation in the original game too, but I actually think it's better organized here. And it reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy 16. There's an intensive amount of writing in the game, and it's all there for you to enjoy. I don't like I prefer the email system in the first game to the social strand service messaging system, like the text messaging system in this game, which I just stopped interacting with entirely. I'm not sure if I just found them less readable. They were constantly coming up, as opposed to like, I really enjoyed going to my room in the original Death Stranding and then going to you can go to the wall and see like basically the menu and seeing that you have a couple new emails and kind of going through them and reading them or checking them out. Just felt like I was constantly getting things, and then the original threads would be updated and the person would respond to those threads. So you'd have to go down. It was a little too much, but I liked generally what they were trying to do with this. I just think it could have been better executed, but it made the world feel alive, which I thought was really cool. And the more you build social strands in the game with real players, the more those things pop up too. And it's quite gratifying, even though I don't know any of these people and they don't know me. It's cool to see like our star ratings are getting higher and higher because we're interacting with each other's worlds more, which I thought was pretty cool. So the game does do a nice job of making you feel interconnected, again, in a very vague way, like the original, which I think is vague, akin to a journey or something, where like you're interacting with people, they're there, they're there, there's ghosts and elements of their presence, but you can't quite be there with them at the same time, which I think is kind of neat. And then I thought the aid requests were cool. Just a way to kind of interact with the world. It's sort of side questy. Some of them just give you thumbs up, so you don't really know what you're getting. Like when they would ask you to go get something for you, those were really valuable ones because you would get precious like thumbs up towards a star rating with a particular facility. Others you would just get thumbs up for going and killing people and it wouldn't matter at all, so you have to kind of be selective there. But I thought those were kind of neat, and it forced you to use the different stuff too. If you want to deploy a ladder or like a rope or a spectral or a chiral bridge rather or something like that, it would ask you to do that. It was an easy way to game the system. One of the things I wanted to ask you guys is one of the things I think makes the game highly playable, although I think I can understand why people would be not into it, is just how much your world is populated with other people's shit. And maybe it's because I'm playing the game, trying to play the game very organically, completely, where I'm doing a lot and a lot of requests and improving my connections with everyone. But it really never comes to a point for me outside of road building where I have to build anything. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. Like, oh, there would be really convenient if there was a bridge here. Well, there already is a bridge here. There's an item on top of this plateau that's needed for an aid request. Oh, there's already a chiral bridge up to it, or a ladder is already there from someone else. And I think that's cool. And you can shut all that off and make the game totally empty. But I think that that's part of the point. And there's a fine balance there that I think the game would be quite overwhelming from my perspective if you didn't benefit from those different things. But I can see how that would bother people. But I was really focused on building roads, and I still haven't completed the road system. It's almost done. And I'm upgrading the roads because that's a huge thing for me. One thing about the upgraded roads bothers me though, is that, and you guys use the upgraded roads, right? So that you have like the little, you go faster and there's like a tarp over it so that you don't get hit by the time fall, but it still degrades. And I'm like, how does it degrade? If it's stopping the time fall from hitting the road, then why is it degrading? So it's a little bit frustrating. But I have a tip for people. You play the game long enough and you have to start repairing the roads. But what you should do is wait until the roads are starting to degrade when you get the warning sign, and then go and just upgrade them. And that will restore them and bring them up to the second level, and you do it all for fewer items, because you can still repair the roads at that point, but you're kind of wasting your time when upgrading them repairs them. So I wanted to throw that out there. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm just trying to get all the roads done and interconnected, because I know I'll have this like crazy speedway that will make things so much easier for me. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Did you guys, were you building a lot of things? Dustin, did you build a lot of things? How are you interacting with the world? Because I really did find like everything, and maybe it's because I'm playing a lot later than a lot of people out there too, where things were populated. Maybe in the beginning it wasn't like that, but I just don't feel like I need to do anything. And I felt like this in the first game too. I don't need to do anything.
Yeah, I initially a lot of my roads in that first section were built on their own, but I had to go and build. I maybe have like half the roads completed at this point. I actually haven't done any of the upgraded roads, so I need to try that at some point. But for the most part, you're right. I didn't feel the need to build too much stuff at all. It's like there was always a watchtower where I needed one, or always a generator where I needed one.
Generators always very, and level 3 generators where you can overcharge, which I think is a really cool quality of life feature too.
Right. Yeah. The only thing that I was building when I 5-starred all of the locations in Mexico, and I did do a few zip lines there because there are no roads. And when I was starting to do the 5-star in Australia, I did do a zip line system to the guy that gives you the silenced weapons at the beginning. The
lone soldier or whatever, the lone commander.
The lone commander. I had some zip lines built for him too.
Yeah, I didn't use any. It's going to drive people crazy. I don't think I used a zip line once, because I don't think there's even there's like a tutorial mission in the original one that makes you use them. But I don't think there's even that even exists in this one, so I don't think I did it. It's just not the way I play. It's not the way I roll.
Oh. They're fun. Should use one.
I have an absurd amount of zip lines set up, specifically around like the mountains, like up and down the mountains. It's like it's so valuable.
Yeah.
Did you guys? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brad.
No, I was gonna say, because with the game like Death Stranding, you can brute force your way through a lot of the terrain. Like how you're saying, you don't have to build a lot if you don't want to. Like, there's usually a way around it, just a little more effort. But man, just having it, like, you can drive up that mountain with all those rocks. You can do it. That zipline, man, it makes it so pleasant. I love those. I think the reason I'm so addicted to the truck is because when I start getting into a cycle of deliveries, I really just go from one. So I'll just go to random place X, collect the 4 things that they have, and then I'll go to one of the places where I'm delivering, and I'll deliver it there, and then they'll have 3 things, and I'll just take all of that on board. And now I have 7 things, and then I'll drive to the next place. I'll drop off 2 things and get 3. So now I have 8. And so like, I'm never just using the zip lines. I question, this is a bold thing, but like, I kind of feel like if you're really trying to 100% the game, it is the most efficient way is to use like upgraded roads and the truck, because you can carry so much shit. If you're trying to like min-max time and everything,
right?
Like that,
exactly.
Probably, yeah.
Well, because I think that talking about the min-maxing of time or whatever, I feel like it seems like by investing time in all these zip lines and everything, that would be the way to do it. But you would just not be able to carry anything. It's the same thing with the trains. It's like, that's a cool option and a cool way to transport things, especially like ceramics and metals and whatever. But I just didn't feel like I needed to interact with it on that level. But
sure,
we were bringing up driving and other, and this is one of the things I was going to ask is like, do you guys feel like the game is easier? Because this is something that I feel like people have been saying. It's hard for me to know, because I played last time when I played in Platinum Death Stranding Director's Cut, I did it on hard, and I don't think it was overwhelmingly hard by any stretch of the imagination. But I did feel like it was, and I'm playing this on normal, but I did feel like it was easier. I think the way I would describe it is I think the game is friendlier. What's the term for the kind, like for Octodad and shit like that? It's like a type of game that's hard to control.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the terminology for that.
I thought
is,
there was
what you're talking about.
So like
baby steps.
That kind of shit. I almost felt like there was an element of Death Stranding 1 that they were trying to kind of try to do that a little bit, and I felt that way not so much with moving around. Oh, thank you, QWOP, KWOP, Mike.
Yeah,
QWOP, like the old Flash game.
Yeah.
Are you playing the Derizer?
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I guess that's the term. So, I don't think Death Stranding was all the way there with that by any stretch of the imagination, but I think there was frustrations that made it intentionally difficult to do certain things. And actually, one of the things that I thought was difficult in the game was using the truck in mountainous, snowy terrain. Like the controls were just so slippery and finicky in the original game, and they completely stamped that out in the second game. Like, everything is so much more controllable. And the way you can upgrade your truck, even with tires, like when you get the special tires, it's like you can go anywhere in the game like so easily. And I feel like it's that's fundamentally easier to play, but I feel like I would describe it not as easier but friendlier, because it's like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to make a QWOP like difficult, annoying ass game, or are you trying to put a little bit of difficulty in a small barrier in front of someone to get from point A to point B? And I think they've embraced the latter in this game, which is really dope. And again, this goes all into the customization with the truck, which I think makes it so much better. So I really, really dig that. And I wanted to shout that out. And there are just so many small quality of life features, like just in the menus, the way you interact with things, just one less button prompt. These things are only obvious to me because I had just spent so much time with the original and then went right into this, which is why I'm so glad I did. Because I could see it wasn't like an imagination thing where it's like, oh, this is newer and shinier. It's like, no, this is really a lot better. You're coming right into it. And yeah, there are just, so you have to kind of adjust. I was making fun of it on Sacred for a couple of weeks that they just arbitrarily changed all of the button prompts like in the game. Like,
isn't like the ping different?
Yeah, like the ping's different, reloading is different, climbing is different. Like, it's like, why did you do this? And I was saying that I wish there would be an update where it's like, go back to Death Stranding 1 controls. But now I'm so used to it. You just have to learn it again. But it was that was a frustration because I was so used to playing the original. But I probably have another 30 to 40 hours, I would say, to spend with the game. And I think I'm just going to do it before I get into anything else. Just get it out of the way and be done.
Yeah.
But I have to like set the scene first. I got to get the roads built. I got to make it easier for me to do all these things and then just execute on all the deliveries. And that's all I have to do. The platinum is ostensibly easier. It might be longer, but I don't know one way or the other yet, but there are no collectibles. So, which is a major portion of the annoyance of that platinum trophy. So, you have to find the little memory chips or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And there's only like 50 or 60 or something like that, but like you have to just go to all these obscure places, and there's great maps online if anyone is doing that. So, is there anything left unsaid about Death Stranding 2? I will say this. I know this is a big game. People are really into it. We'll do another episode and we'll facilitate it based entirely on your inquiries. So like in the coming weeks, I'll put up a thread. And if you guys want to, whoever wants to participate can participate, but we'll definitely spend more time talking about the game in deeper detail. I think that this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg in some way. And I think it'll be good to get listener inquiries kind of getting us to explore new things. So we'll maybe reconvene in the next few weeks and work off of the inquiries from the audience. But I think generally it seems like we all liked it, maybe to varying degrees.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I liked it quite a bit. It's just, I think the first one hit me a little bit more because it was so novel, and it's less novel now. Like now it's better, but less. It's weird. It's better, but less interesting. I don't know how to.
Yeah, it's a sequel. It's not like dramatically different game.
But I like it a lot. I think it's fantastic. There's a lot of. I like how it's cute in a lot of ways. Like they play with I don't know if you guys ever screwed around with some of the optional, like in the beginning when you can deny the call to action.
Oh no, I didn't even do that yet. That's cool.
I did it like 3 times, and it's the way that it kind of threatens to send you back to the very, very beginning. And then at a certain point, like after 3, Sam goes like, no. And then it just like, it only gives you the one option.
That's cool.
But like, and so there's a couple things like that. If you talk to Dalman enough, he'll break the fourth wall. He'll talk about like Kojima Productions. And I remember at the very end, I kept talking to him, and it was like at the very end, at the point of like, not that there's really a point of no return, but to the extent that I've seen in previous games, but like the point where like things are really about to hit the fan, and he goes like, I think there's a very long cutscene in our near future and stuff like that. It's cute. It's fun. There's a lot of winks and nods. I think that weird bath. Did you guys ever do the hot spring?
With the song.
I didn't do it. No. I see there's a trophy attached to it. So
you got to do it, man.
It is yeah.
I look forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone thinks too, and like get their own inquiries too, and we'll get the conversation going, because I think there's so much more to say, but I feel like I've kind of expressed the obvious things that come to mind. Obviously, the soundtrack is another big thing for people. I thought it was great. A lot more low roar in there than I thought. I thought it was classy that they dedicated the game to him at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a ton of things to say, but we'll meet back. This is a big game, an important game, and gives time people. I'm surprised, because I started it so late that I think only like 21% of people have even beaten it that have played it. So there's still a lot of people working through it. It's a big, meaty game for normal people to get through. So we'll continue to accumulate finishers, and we'll meet again in the coming weeks. But let's go around the horn and say goodbye to everyone. Chris, goodbye to you. Be well. I'll see you shortly. Well, we've already done Sacred Symbols for the audience, but we haven't done it yet in real time. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day.
Tomorrow? Oh yeah, that's right. It is Wednesday. I don't know it's only 1:15. Gotta run some errands probably. I don't know. I gotta check my calendar. It's a Wednesday.
Businessman doing business. Dustin, goodbye to you. Be well.
Goodbye.
Any plans for you for the rest of the day?
I'm gonna try to not talk because I gotta save my voice for Sacred tomorrow. So just gonna chill out. I think I'm gonna beat Donkey Kong.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
tonight.
dude. Hell yeah.
So excited to do that because everyone keeps saying that it's crazy. So
I finished it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm waiting your thoughts.
Okay.
Brad, goodbye to you. Be well.
Hey, goodbye. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I might do a little post Donkey Kong game today. Get some more bananas in there, maybe. Perhaps.
Cool.
Post Kong clarity.
That's right. Post Kong clarity.
That's great. Love that. Well, I appreciate you guys being here with me for a couple hours, and hope you guys enjoyed our conversation out there. Remember, you can support us patreon.com/laststandmedia, early ad free access, laststandmedia.store for merch. Shout out to Death Stranding 2. Go check it out on PlayStation 5. I'm sure it'll be on PC soon. And we'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye. Sacred Symbols, a PlayStation podcast, is a product and trademark of Last Stand Media and Colin's Last Stand LLC, and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is conceived by, is written by, and is directed by me, Colin Moriarty. My co-hosts are Chris Raygun Maldonado and Dustin Furman. The show is produced by executive producer Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by my best friend, Ramon Narvaez. As you know, all of Last Stand's shows, including Sacred Symbols, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we're grateful for your thoughtful and kind contributions to our independent endeavor. Thank you.